It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
It's you liberals who have lifted them up, Howard.
Paul, you conservatives make a mistake. You can't afford to strangle hope in people. Without hope, people become dangerous.
No, Howard. You liberals have let them invade our society. You give them jobs, political jobs.
Paul, you missed the point. It's only the smart ones we move up.
That makes it even worse.
No, we have to move them up. If we leave a smart one in the ghetto, he might develop into a leader against us. But if we raise him up into white society, we neutralize him.
It really boils down to our ability to accept. We don't need pessimism.
What he means by pessimism is resistance. And that's what COINTELPRO was all about, stopping the resistance.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change.
We hide it in plain sight. One of Plato's greatest works was the allegory of the cave. I feel in order to understand the political matrix, we need only to look into this allegory. We first have to open our minds to the possibility everything is not as it seems, that things we've always known to be truth may be lies. For if we can't perceive the lies we've ingested, we can't see the bars on our mental conditioning. For that is how you walk out of the cave and see the political matrix. Hello, everybody. Shoot, that sounds a little loud. Apologies if that was a little loud. Apologies for the delays also. I had a lot of stuff going on here. Trying to get things cleared out, moving some things around, and then just a lot of noise and construction and things like that. So just trying to make sure that I could, get it all going. And also the fact of normally I do a lot of my show prep the night before to try to get everything ready, work on thumbnails, do all that stuff. And this week has just been an insane week for me at work, has been mentally taxing, exhausting. So when I've been getting home, it's just been just mental dump. Yeah, I have one of those jobs where I have multiple people who come to me from different directions, asking me for this, looking up that, ordering this, doing that. And so a lot of times I feel like I'm trying to do the job of 3 different people during a work day. And I get a little overwhelmed. So been working a lot of hours and stuff like that and been mentally exhausted. So apologies for not having everything as prepared as I would have hoped to and causing for the delay. Teal is on the road right now. So I sent her the link a little bit late. So hopefully she will be able to join. But if not, I know we'll probably have her back next week. And I got a couple of different things in the work. So bear with me on that. Also, if I get a little tongue tied or whatever, just know that it's probably due to sleep exhaustion, and my apologies. Interesting week. I've been paying attention to, oh goodness, I didn't change the title of the show. That shows how off I was. Let me go, and I thought that I changed it, but it looks like it did not change. So let me adjust that so anybody who's looking at the show doesn't see it for just saying to be announced. So hold on a second. Let me edit. Man, I had completely, it keeps rejecting it. That's why. It keeps rejecting it. Thank you. All right. Okay, so got my coffee. Now I can get going. Actually, let me do this first. Let me throw a shout out to everybody that I see who's in here first. I see Warren hopped in the building early since I do not have a lid on that. I don't have a whisker. I don't want to spill it on my electronics. Let me move this coffee to the floor. So, shout out to Warren. I see Warren's in the building. Jackie, hello. Glad to see you. Yonina is in the building. Good to see you also. I see my brother Tom is over there. Atris is here. What is up? Hamza at the beginning of the show. Johnny, glad to see you all. yeah, it's a couple of things that I've been paying attention to. If it's anything that you guys have saw that's been going on in the week that you want me to cover or talk about, just mention to me and bring it up, and we will get into that. Of course, all the stuff that's been going on with Candace Owens has been very, very interesting to me. So I definitely want to get in and talk about that whole little kind of, I guess, right-wing civil war that you could call it. Why is it? It's not allowing me to switch. That's weird. It's not allowing me to change it. Oh well. I guess I'll have to change it after the stream. But the topics that I have here. Oh, and I see Lainey is here also. Good to see you. The topics I wanted to talk about is I wanted to get into this Candace Owens thing. Candace Owens has been going back and forth, of course, with the Daily, not the Daily Wire. Well, she's always kind of offhandedly going back and forth with the Daily Wire, but I mean TPUSA. So I want to talk about some of that. I want to talk about the back and forth with her and Tim Pool. I want to talk about her in the back and forth with Erica Kirk. Nick Fuentes is getting involved in this. I do kind of want to do a little bit of talk about the Nick Fuentes Piers Morgan interview. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but it's definitely been interesting. So I do want to talk about some of that. Yeah, I mean, Hamza, in actuality, I get it. You said it's all a big distraction, the Charlie stuff. I agree and disagree at the same time. I think everything's a distraction at this point. There's so many different things that are going on. And I think that we're able to pay attention to these things and talk about them, have a little bit of fun with it at the same time while keeping our eye on some of the other things that are going on. So that's what I'll say there. If you spend all your time focusing on this whole Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk stuff, yes, of course, this is a distraction. Another one of the stories that I definitely want to follow up on, I talked a little bit last week about the Netflix WB deal, and I want to talk about the Ellisons. That's who I kind of want to spend a little bit of time talking about. That's really been something that's piqued my interest. And then I saw a really good report on some of the, I can't remember what it's called. I know Lainey is here and she'll probably be able to, tell me remind me what that's called. But it has to do with like some of the pricing, which they do, the adjusting the pricing. I can't remember the exact term, but it's when you're adjusting the pricing within the stores and online, and literally you all can be buying the same item but paying different costs. I saw something from can't remember who I saw it from, but they did a really good I think it was like More Perfect Union and some consumer channel. I guess they paired together for that dynamic pricing. Thank you. I knew Lainey would know, because I know this is right in her wheelhouse. And if you at all want to hop on here, let me know. I'll send you the link. Oh shoot, there's Voodoo. Hello there, my lovely co-host. How are you?
I am good. I had to go get me a Red Bull, y'all.
I hear that you. That's what I told him. I said she on the road. Till always got some stuff going on.
Y'all know I stay busy.
So I said, hopefully we'll be graced with her presence. If not, it's all good, and we'll see you next week. But yes, you have graced us with your presence. So how's everything going?
Well, very well. My best friend graduated from her doctoral program. She's a doctor now.
Good.
She is a nurse of anesthesiology. Well, a doctor of anesthesiology now. So I had to go. I've been knowing about her graduating for 2 years, and I wasn't letting anything help me miss it or anything. This is really one of my best friends.
Those are the important things in life. That's what you need to go and do.
Thank you.
I'd be mad at you if you coming to the show and missing something like that.
So I had to show up for my friend. So now I'm driving back from Tennessee.
Right back.
No, you're good. So now I'm driving back from Tennessee, and I whenever I go out or whenever I find myself traveling, it's like adamant that I make it there. I'm always very like gung ho about making sure I make it there safely. But when it's like my drive back home, I get the lollygagging and stuff, and I just enjoy lollygagging and dilly daddling and stuff like that. So hey yo Nina, hey Tom. Oh, Hamza is here. What up, Hamza? Nice to see everybody. But yeah, so I'm just hey Jacqueline from the UK. I'll always have to say that. If a dingo's ate my babies in here, what up, a dingo? But yeah, I'm just on my way home. I did, Jackie. I had a great birthday. I've had a amazing week all together. So thank you so much. But yeah, I'm just kind of dilly daddling on my way home, just bebopping up and down the Appalachians. You know what I'm saying? Nice, pretty mountain range till the sun went down. And yeah, thank you guys. Thank you. Cause my dog, man, my dog, she was in the thick of it for a minute. She's been working her butt off for the last decade. I've known her for 10 years and I've watched her go from nothing to CNA, RN, you know what I'm saying? And now she's a CRNA. Like, she's just a beautiful human. She's super deserving. I gave her a whole bunch of praise because she's super deserving and all that. And she's just amazing. And yeah. Hold on, Hamza. Also, we have no tourists coming next year because foreigners who come here have to send media bank account and they can't make fun of travel. Oh yeah, Hamza, you're absolutely right. That's something I did want to talk about. Is the fact that they are doing with Trump shit is crazy. I don't want to talk too much before Marcus gets back, but that Trump shit is crazy. That deep like
No, I'm back. I'm back. Going ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm listening.
I'm making a fucking cut.
I'm fluffing my coffee ear. I'll click the camera so you guys see what I'm doing.
Okay, I am not fucking making it, y'all. Y'all know I'm not fucking making it. Y'all know I'm not fucking making it. It's not gonna work out for me. Like, they are going to. They would take me out. To be honest, they would definitely take me out. Cause like, I read the criteria. They was like, you can't say anything negative about America for like and they're checking the last 5 years. They're checking the last 5 years because that's when COVID started, y'all. They're checking the last 5 years because that's when shit hit the fan and they dropped this big ass thing on us, and they got to see who was with it and who won't. They got to see who was woke and who wasn't, who would follow the rules and who's gonna give us some resistance.
So wait a minute. You said they're going over the last 5 years.
Last 5 years.
Sorry.
5 years back. They checking 5 years back, Marcus.
Well,
COVID. So if anybody was like, fuck the government, they fucking with the COVID, your ass ain't going no fucking where. Don't take the vaccine, your ass ain't going no fucking where. Oh, y'all gonna sit pretty.
Man, this
they about to have it. Huh?
Hey, I know we don't advertise no products. I ain't about to put their name on there because they ain't paying us nothing. I'm not beyond advertising, but this Mama Jamma right here have your shit looking like Starbucks. Regular ass coffee. It got this power on this sucker. I guarantee you somebody's mama using it for more than coffee. But anyway, stirring something else.
No, that's right. Macaroni noises. But yeah, man, back 5 years. And I was like, I instantly went, ooh, that's COVID. Because I've been getting banned for the last 5 years consistently. Give or take.
Yeah. In fact, breaking points, which it's kind of weird because I'll a lot of times I'll check different stuff that they got going on and then go look it up. Because you kind of gotta watch, you kind of gotta listen to some of the mainstream to a degree or read some of their stuff, and then you go filter out the bullshit and then come to your own conclusions. But they actually almost got my other channel taken down.
For real?
Yeah.
See?
Because I criticized one of the people on the COVID thing.
See?
And all I did was let math.
You can't.
And that was the problem. I didn't even give a conclusion, Teal. All I said was, this is the CDC numbers. This is what that equates to. So you're telling me this is the lethality rate of said, thing that's going on right now. All I did was put out the numbers. And I didn't, in fact, it's not like I sat there and was using, kind of complicated Pythagorean theorems and none of that. No, I used a calculator and calculated this by this by this and gave what it said. I didn't make up the numbers. And the number was accurate.
That's why.
But because they called it medical misinformation.
Just like natural immunity is too.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you say anything about natural immunity, they'll lose their fucking mind.
Just like if I showed a video of Fauci saying one thing about masks and then showed him saying something different about masks that completely conflicted with what he just said, somehow I'm the one that's wrong.
Yes. If you repost something, it's insane, bro. And I was just waiting for the day when they were going to get our asses, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was like, how do you do it? Because I was like, if we're not following the program, the only way that I can think they could get us is if the COVID shot they gave to all these people is like on some KGB shit, and then they like hit a button and then they go crazy and they kill us. They kill all the people that didn't like turn into robots. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that'd be the one.
What Hamza say here? Plus, the World Cup is next year, and they have Iran versus Egypt on Pride Month in Seattle, June 26th. Is when LGBT community will celebrate them. I don't know. One thing I notice is, what pisses me off about America? I'm gonna just say this, y'all. How the hell we have so many fucking holidays, and you can't get but a handful of them off? What's the point of having the fucking holiday if you can't even take it off?
Just to let you know that you can't take it off.
I'm like, this is some bullshit. I noticed it when we were in Europe, because at first I remember when I was in Europe and I was mad because I was trying to get shit done. And I'm like, this is fucking closed. That's fucking closed. God damn it. Shit is always fucking closed. And when I learned in Italy, they had 66 official holidays. That means 66 holidays that you get off work for. And I was like, and then
one
you have
a week and a couple extra.
And then
that's three a month.
But then you throw in Reposa also. For those who don't know what Reposa is, or siesta,
that's nap time.
Yeah, basically you take a break in the middle of the day, go have food, rest, whatever the hell you want to do for them couple hours.
Rub your fucking feet together like a cricket. I would do that so bad.
Oh, there's a lot of them making macaroni sounds, I'm sure. But
probably.
Actually, dang. This I should know. Hamza would know this, the world traveler. Mm-hmm. You were in Catania, right? I was like, how did he never mind, it's Hamza. Of course he knows.
It's Hamza.
But yeah, I was in Catania. Exactly. Oh shoot, we lost Teal for a sec. Probably the GPS doing crazy stuff. But says, I'm not sure whether to use a laugh emoji on your last comment, because I'm half scared you're being serious. You never know. Speaking of, let's see, what is your last comment? Speaking of which, people are losing their minds over Musk saying they can use to change people into butterfly. What? Yeah, I don't even know what that means. That sounds crazy. Oh, shoot. John is in the building. What is up, John? It's so good to see your face. Excuse me. But yeah, what else did I have? I almost will wager on whether to talk about the what is that? The Venezuela seizure thing. I think the Venezuela thing is so naked that I don't even really think that we need to. Yes, I'm glad you're still alive. In fact, I need to hit you up that way when I start. I don't know. I guess with one benefit of my job is that I do accrue a lot of vacation time, and I told myself that in the next year I'm going to try to actually take some of that, more and more of that, and so I'm gonna start going places. And as I get out on the road, let me know where y'all at. That way, I can know where to tap in certain places. I know you're in Chicago, in which Chicago is definitely on my list to get back to at some point, sometime soon. I know Yonina's there too, and I don't know. Maybe we have a meet and greet somewhere in these different cities. And if it's anybody who's on that whole East Coast kind of thing, um, especially because a lot of those places are only a couple hours apart. We're talking about like the DC, Baltimore, Philly, New York, those areas. Let me know. I'll try to hit you guys all up there. Oh, we got listen to Florida Deutsch. Wow, I don't know what that is, but I'll definitely check it out. It looks like we got a listener. Guten Tag. So Guten Tag back also to you. Thank you for listening to this. I don't know how you came across the channel, but I'm glad you're here. And hey, come right in and hop in, join the conversation. Feel free to voice your opinions, whether we agree with them or disagree. You're completely welcome here. Come to Arizona. I mean, Arizona's not that far away from me. I don't see why not. I guess just the times I've drove through it. I don't know. I'll keep it in mind, Hamza. Just what part of Arizona are you in? Because I do got a cousin I want to say who's in Phoenix, so it's a possibility. Fleur is a rapper. Okay, all right. German rap. I gotta check that out. That's interesting.
Marcus love.
I mean, I do listen to French rap, and I do listen to Italian rap too. So yes, Teal, I listen to Italian rap.
I know you do.
And for y'all who don't realize, some of it is pretty dope. Y'all be blown away. Oh, you in Phoenix? Okay, I'll go check it out. And Sido Mean Block remix. Okay. I love it when people introducing me to new things. That's one thing. Honestly, if this channel got like big or we were doing this full time, best believe I would be doing a Euro trip. Would you be down, Teal?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And I'm talking about not just doing like a lot of people when they'll say Euro, they'll just go to I'm gonna go to the UK and I'm gonna go to maybe France and Spain. No, I want to hit a bunch of those different spots. I want to go all the way to Poland, and I want to see, all those different areas all through the Rhineland. And I've never been to Germany, so it's something I definitely want to check out. I've seen castles and stuff. It looks amazing. Yeah, one of the girls I work with, her family ties back to a German, like a long German line, and she was showing us some of the cool ass pictures of some of the castles and stuff. So definitely want to check it out. Hamza, you say you'll be in Huntington. Let me know when you're in Huntington Beach. Please let me know. January. Yeah, we definitely got to go kick back, have some drinks or something. But what else? I don't know.
The flood in Washington.
Huh?
The flood in Washington.
Which Washington? DC or state?
No, state.
Because see, that's the thing. I don't know as much. Crazy enough, I've been living on the West Coast this time, and I haven't really went outside of like, Southern California. So I haven't even been up to like the Bay Area. I haven't been up to Oregon. So I don't know. The West is still kind of uncharted territory for me. I've seen pictures of Utah that blew my mind. Like I didn't know Utah looked the way it did. Marcus, how much tourism will drop next year? Ooh, good question. Actually, I'll ask a clarifying question. when you say tourism, do you mean tourism within the United States or back and forth from the United States to other countries, or do you mean tourism just in general, including just worldwide travel for other countries outside of the U.S.? Because actually, when I think about it, I think on both accounts, I think it's going to be down. Um, I think eventually some of the things that have kind of went in with the tariffs are going to start kicking in, and I think we're going to start to feel some of that stuff. Um, I
There
think
we go.
international tourism, people who come from foreign nations. I believe that international tourism, people coming into the U.S., is going to probably, it's going to tick down. At least I'll say I think it'll tick down in the first part of the year. I think the second part of the year it's probably going to start ticking back up because I think those places like Florida and Texas, who typically have a lot of tourism, who are very hard on the whole immigration thing, are going to have to like pull back because I think the whole ICE effect stuff is going to actually start hurting them in the pockets. So I think even though because that whole saying that they call Trump, taco, some of them call him chicken taco. You know what taco is, right, Teal?
Besides it being a coochie.
Not that. Oh wow, what kind of show we on
Oh,
today?
I'm so sorry, y'all. That's what
It's Trump always chickens out.
Oh, that's funny.
So they start calling him taco, and I kind of think it's a strong possibility that might be the case too. That we might have a Trump kind of chickening out effect and not being able to hold his feet to the ground. John, good to see you. We got two John sightings today. Yes, it is. Taco is Trump always chickens out. And so I think as you start to see, especially some of these states like Florida, which Florida depends on tourism. If Florida's tourism dropped off of a cliff, they would be in a world of trouble because they don't pay state taxes, and that's how they're able to get away from the state taxes. But what they do is they hit you with a lot of property tax stuff, and they're trying to focus that property tax stuff towards younger homeowners and renters. So they're trying to hit people under 50 and trying to alleviate the people over 50 to not have to pay any of those taxes because they're saying, oh, they're on a fixed income. Now, if you know anything about Florida, most of those people who are over 60 in Florida, they are people who more than likely came from higher cost states and retired with very good money and are coming down there a lot of times sitting on $1 million or more. And so they're not this cash strapped, fixed living older person that you have in your mind. Let's see. What is some of the other things that I wanted to talk about? Okay, I brought up the price fixing thing that I want to bring up.
Washington's flood.
Oh yeah, I saw a crazy video. Did you guys
Can
see
you
the
hear me,
flooding?
Marcus?
Yeah, you said Washington's flood. Did you guys see the video? Any of
Yes,
the
the flood
videos
in
that are coming out
Washington.
of there? Let me try to find one real quick and pull it up because I
Yes.
saw some gnarly videos. I was just like, well, and I think I saw something that said El Nino is supposed to be here for the whole winter. So it's going to be interesting. Let's see, Washington flooding today. State bus go Washington State flooding.
So one of my homeboys from culinary school lives out in Washington, and like he popped up and was like, I just like identified that he was safe. I was like, the fuck are you talking about? And I had to go Google it. I was like, why is that not like real deal national news? Oh, and then that college in Providence,
Here, want me to show it?
Rhode Island.
The flooding? Here, before we hop to the Rhode Island, let me show the video that I got a video pulled up. Let's see. Let's share my screen first. And
once you guys get out of that property there, do you proceed straight east?
It's crazy.
Across the valley, you'll see a cluster of trees that'll.
That is insane, man.
Hey, Guardian 1 to Marine 10, they're making contact with them at the house. They're getting into the boat. Marine 10, copy.
Marine 3, we have 2 on board with 1 dog, and back to you, preset.
Hey, Guardian 1 of the boat.
That is crazy. That shit look like New Orleans.
Property there. Do you proceed straight east across the valley? You'll see a.
The massive flooding that has hit Washington state in recent days has entered its most critical phase after a series of extreme rainfall events triggered by an atmospheric river phenomenon triggered river overflows, infrastructure damage, and mass evacuations across the state. Local media outlets reported that the state government is calling the situation one of the most serious flood crises in Washington's history, with tens of thousands of residents affected and thousands more still on high alert. Although the intensity of the rain has begun to decrease, meteorologists from regional weather centers warn that the flooding impacts will continue for several days as major rivers remain at or near record levels. The atmospheric river phenomenon that battered the Pacific Northwest brought extraordinary rainfall for 2 consecutive days, and forecasts from local meteorological services indicate an additional 4 to 8 inches of rain in mountainous areas, potentially worsening already severe flooding conditions. Washington Governor Bob Ferguson has issued a statewide emergency declaration and requested that the federal government expedite emergency assistance. He emphasized that the situation is extremely serious and requires a swift response from all relevant agencies, and urged residents to comply with any evacuation orders as conditions could change rapidly and endanger lives. One of the hardest hit areas was Skagit County, particularly the cities of Burlington and Mount Vernon. Local Skagit County media reported that the city of Burlington issued a total evacuation order after water from Gage's Slough overflowed and rushed into residential areas. Police, firefighters, and National Guard personnel conducted door-to-door evacuations early in the morning to ensure residents could evacuate their homes before the waters rose further. In Mount Vernon, the Skagit River reached nearly 38 feet, approaching a record high. Although the city's floodwalls held back the pressure, surrounding areas experienced rapid flooding, inundating roads, homes, and public facilities. In Snohomish County, reports from regional news stations indicated that the Snohomish River surpassed its 35-year-old record, causing widespread flooding in rural and urban areas. The continued rise in water levels also affected popular tourist areas like Snoqualmie Falls, which were now surrounded by much higher than usual water levels. Officials warned that even as the rains subsided, major rivers would continue to rise due to runoff from the mountains. In the Puget Sound region, flooding has caused major road closures, including several state roads vital for public mobility and logistics distribution. Local media reported that several communities received immediate evacuation orders as water levels rose faster than expected, threatening residents' safety. Several bridges had to be temporarily closed due to concerns about structural stability due to strong currents and debris carried by the floodwaters. There have been no reports of casualties so far, but authorities stressed that conditions remain dangerous and could change at any time. Rescue teams have conducted dozens of evacuation operations using boats, specialized vehicles, and helicopters in several isolated areas. Many families have been forced to leave their homes with only essential belongings, while evacuation centers are filling up with residents seeking safety and warmth amid the winter cold. The economic impact of the flooding is expected to be significant. Farmland in the Skagit Valley, one of Washington's most productive agricultural regions, is under.
So I want to ask, I know that I don't typically see eye to eye with everybody on this topic, but how many people feel that this is completely natural, or that this is, that it's the fuckery afoot? And shout out
It's
to Tom.
geoengineering.
I mean, because
That's
I
really
always believe, like, yes, to a degree, there's some of that. I just think when it's these things that are massive, I tend to not buy it as much that's the main cause. Because I kind of came down with this conclusion in my head, and I could be wrong. Or I guess I could keep this playing, and I'll just mute the sound. I noticed when we started hearing more and more people put most of the blame on conspiracy with the weather, it came from a lot of people who were already big on there's no climate change. And I get, okay, maybe the way Al Gore was saying it, it's not that, or he was wrong on that. I don't think anybody can predict the weather perfectly. But I also have a hard time believing that they have enough control to exactly make this stuff exactly happen this way. As somebody, I mean, just my experience dealing with government equipment, government shit don't work perfect. It's hard for me to buy that. And also at the same time, when like they can literally look back to the time when the Native Americans were obliterated. It literally changed the climate for generations because of how many people were obliterated in North America in particular, or you can say the Americas as a whole. It changed the whole world's climate. Now we're approaching 8 billion people with far more stuff being pumped into the air, whether it's from vehicles, whether it's from plants and companies, whether it's from geoengineering. There's so much more crap that's being pumped into the air that it would be hard for me to think that man is not having an unintended cause. And I say unintended meaning like I was just going through our normal day. I don't think that's our intention for this to happen. But if we got planes and jets and more and more factories being built in more and more places around the world, more and more industrialized nations, it's got to have some kind of cause and effect. And it's hard for me to believe that, no, it's no cause and effect from any of that stuff. It's just all the government doing it. You feel what I'm saying, too?
Yes.
Or I don't know. What's your thoughts? I don't want to put words in your mouth. Just what's your thoughts?
I do believe that it's geoengineering. I don't believe that it's 100% geoengineering, but I do feel that all the geoengineering that they have done has changed our ecosystem. Do I think this particular one, 60-40, yes. Because like Washington getting flooded the fuck out, Washington looking like Katrina, like, damn.
I mean, we do got to remember, Washington is a place that has a ton of rainfall every year. No,
I get it. I do. But like, it looked like Texas when they had that little monsoon jank. I mean, not monsoon, when the river overflowed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I think that's geoengineer influenced. Not 100%, but definitely. For instance, I think like the chemtrails are something that fucked up our ecosystem. And I feel that certain places have more chemtrails than others. Can you catch my drift? So
Yeah,
I
I hear what you're
feel that
saying.
it's like pre-planted. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they pre-plant certain areas of the world, and when it's time for Mother Nature to kind of come through and do her annual shit, we all can count on hurricane season where I live. You know what I'm saying? You're sitting here, oh, it was a mild hurricane season, XYZ. But like, I feel like it's influenced by the geoengineering that they have already done. And if it wasn't for the fact that those companies low key came clean, I guess, or the government gave us like a fucking, you know what I'm saying, like a little bit of a treat or whatever have you, but the fact that they have people saying and claiming that they are a part of the geoengineering community, I'm never gonna put it past it. That's not a conspiracy no more.
I get that. I'm just saying
You know,
with
but
China.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Hear me
I'm
out.
just
I'm not
like
disagreeing.
I hear you. I would ask, to what degree do you feel like this geoengineering is the cause for the stuff we're seeing?
For this particular,
because I never get to the point where you give these people any benefit of the doubt. Always assume that there is a strong possibility that anything that's going on crazy and ridiculous in the world, that this could be by design. I get that. I'm with you there.
yes.
I just
So
come
that's why.
down. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, finish what you're saying.
I said I've just kind of, when I look at 20 years ago, let's say 30 years ago, Vietnam, a lot of Southeast Asia didn't have a lot of industrial plants. They didn't have a lot of the Western power. They didn't have, in fact, they didn't have a lot of vehicles. And with their populations increasing the industrial industry as much as they have, and then the world's population growing by an extra billion people, it would have, in my just understanding and thinking, that would have to have some kind of cause and effect. And so if they didn't do anything, how do we tell the difference between how much of this is far worse than anything? I mean, because it's like, will we still just have basically the same storms we had from 20 years ago at that same level? Would they not increase in strength?
Well, in the same breath, with humans, we are decreasing the integrity of Earth in the same breath. As you said, they might not have had industrial stuff, but they were still mining. Did not have to be industrial. Mining and making the infrastructure of the whole world, of your country, your continent, or whatever have you, that was still going on. That was going on in the 1920s. You know what I'm saying? When we first had our industrial shift and things got crazy, machinery started getting built. Just us adding that, just us adding the extra weight of the machinery and depleting the world of its natural resources, we have now made the foundation weak. So yes, I even believe then, being a spiritualist, that Gaia is not happy with us.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if she makes shit shake and crack a country, that's on her dime. You feel me?
I mean, of course, I would go, of course, I got our different spiritual beliefs. I believe that, that's the Father getting towards the end of days, and he doing what he said he was going to do. He said he was going to shake shit up.
You give it in there, but I feel that even in that instant, when Source has made those prophecies or have retaliated or reacted in the way that we have treated this space, I feel then it is still human. It still falls majority on humans, regardless if it's the geoengineering technicians that make it shake, you know what I'm saying, when they want it, and then Gaia, Source, or whatever responds, or just us as humans depleting our space of its resources. Just being humans, making it weaker.
Well, that's undeniable. Any way you look at it, it's human.
Thank you. Thank you. It's human, and that's where I'm at. It's regardless. It's still, we did this shit.
That's
intentional or not.
That's
Conspiracy or not, we still did this shit. So
yeah, you never told a lie there. Yeah, you never told a lie there. Yeah, just because like Nina was talking about, yeah, they have patents for geoengineering and bioengineering and the Earth going back 80 years. Yeah, I know that they've had these patents. I just still come down on the fact of I've dealt with the equipment, these people who put out these patents and stuff. I've dealt with the end results. They can put out patents all they want. I've seen how much of their bullshit don't work. I've seen how much plans they set out that it sounds good, and when somebody reads, oh well, they put a patent for this. Yeah, but does it even work? Every patent doesn't work. It just means that you're patenting your idea. And I think some of this stuff works on a small scale. Like I think in a small county, I think there's certain counties where say a certain billionaire decided that he wanted people off a certain land, which if Thomas was in here, he would know exactly what I'm talking about. A certain tribe that was pushed off of their land just so happened to have all these weird conditions out of nowhere that aren't even normal to that area happen. That's when I believe, oh no, this is without a doubt them monkeying around with stuff, because this specific billionaire wanted this particular land and he wanted to get these people up off the land, and so he used it. And so yeah, I believe that when they're targeting it on a smaller scale, when it's statewide like this, I just think it's because we done too much messing up.
Well, Dubai can. Well, Dubai can do it at state level.
Well,
Dubai does it.
Well, the difference.
Why can't we?
Well, the difference with Dubai, I would say, is because you can see the puppet strings. You can see, okay, this is the machines they're using to do this and to do that. It's very clear. I feel like if we were able, because there's too many private industry and too many independent, journalists who would be able to get concrete evidence. Oh, look, there's the weather machine right there in the sky, and there's the plane that's setting up this, like for the hurricanes, for instance. In order to create these hurricanes that are moving, we're talking hundreds of miles and doing destruction for hundreds of miles. There has to be conditions set in the water and in the air, and for all that to continuously travel with that storm. For me, that's, I don't know. I always go to.
Have you seen the videos on the gigantic? You've seen the videos on the big weather machines.
Yeah, but
you had to.
Yeah, but some of the weather machines that I've saw, they've only been able to, maybe to do a small tornado, and it's a giant machine. The size of the machine that you would need to create the storms that big would be massive. It would be like almost like continent sized to do that. That's why I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I buy that part of it.
See, and that's where my brain, I don't know if it's because I got a chemistry degree. My brain sees it different. Mm-hmm. Because, for instance, as you're talking about this is how my brain works. I view it as if I've been to the Harlem Globetrotters all the time. I used to be a huge basketball player. Oh, yeah. I love the Harlem Globetrotters. One of the easiest tricks that they always do, I call it the Make-A-Wish Foundation trick, is this. Mm-hmm. They take a basketball and they spin it on their finger. They then hold your finger up and they pass it to you. The ball still spins. It may lose some velocity, but they then start helping you by spinning it for you. Let's think about a weather machine. Let's say they did take a smaller weather machine in which they had the opportunity to make conditions in a smaller area in the Gulf of Mexico. Let's say they created it at a very smaller scale, but they did it on a day because we have an almanac where we notice for the next 2-3 days, the Earth is going to have a different rotational spin, which causes us to have maybe different air pressure that particular day. So if they start the process and it naturally gets picked up,
Maybe later on in the week, they can add a little bit more to continue the process. I don't know, make 2 more little hurricanes on the outside of it so that it gets sucked into the bigger hurricane. Now we got fucking Hurricane Harold 6. That's how my brain works.
I hear what you're saying.
I can see them starting it, but they have predetermined it. They did the schematics and they did the mathematics so that they don't have to make a big machine so that y'all can see it. We just started, let it pick up, and we might add a little bit to it. That's just me.
Yeah, the only reason why I say that I would have a problem with that is because, for instance, I'll take the Joint Strike Fighter. Joint Strike Fighter, they've been trying to get that to be the new aircraft, all-purpose aircraft in the military for the past 20 years. The shit is still trash. The shit don't work. There are tanks that they've been trying to use and multiple different applications, which all of these companies use, that don't work, that they're not consistent. And you would have to have something that is 100% perfect in order to make that happen. Because I look at it from this, as my job in the military would be an ordnance mechanic. Thinking from a mechanic's mindset, there's a lot of maintenance that would have to go on with this machinery to keep everything up and running. That's a lot of work that I don't know how you'd maintain. Because just like John mentioned in there, you got these different pressures in the water, and you need the proper pressures in the water and in the air, and the machinery would have to be another component. And I just look at these people's track record. They're not great at making anything work perfectly. And I would have to believe that they are great at understanding this and making this one thing perfect.
Now, let me ask you this. Who is they?
Well, I guess it would be DARPA. I guess that's who people would be going to. But whether it's DARPA, whether it is private industry, I don't see any signs where either one of them have done anything perfect. I see a lot of flaws. Maybe because they don't want us to see the perfect. Well, I'm saying no. For instance, let's go through our corporations. Let's look at Blue Origin. Their shit doesn't work. Let's look at Tesla. Their shit doesn't work. Boeing. Let's look at Boeing. How many fuck ups Boeing got going on? Let's go through Northrop Grumman. Let's go through all of these corporations. These motherfuckers always shit's breaking down and doesn't work properly. And we'd have to believe that this one thing, because it can. Raytheon's another one. Raytheon shit fucks up too. My company does business with all of these companies, and all of them have massive problems. They just hide a lot of this shit from the media. So,
if they had the problems, I would definitely hide the perfects. Why the fuck would I tell y'all about the perfects? I would keep that so close to my chest. Oh my God, that's like me and my favorite. Like, I'm not gonna show the world my favorite little yeah, so that y'all can get it. That's crazy as hell. I would never show y'all my number one. I would never. Hell no. Why would I tell y'all what's perfect? Secondly, if I know it's perfect, why would I tell you who did it? So that somebody else can try to bandwagon on who did it? Hell no. I think there's a secret society of German soldiers that works for Hitler. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be some random niggas from Huntsville.
Yeah, I do.
It could be some Stranger Things ass niggas that they keep in a dungeon. You know, some weird shit. But nevertheless, I wouldn't tell y'all the perfect. I promise you that. I would never tell you the perfect. That's just illogical.
Yeah. Because like I see Yonina put in there DARPA. Like, I was in the military. Do you know these people who are in the military? Do you know the people who you got working on multi-million-dollar and billion-dollar equipment? I mean, some of these people I would not trust. I mean, I wouldn't trust them to take the trash out. I mean, some of these people, we are not talking about the brightest bulbs. I mean, y'all do realize, like, the Marine, part of their recruiting push is they go around and pull up on random homeless people and try to get homeless people to join the Marines to keep their numbers up. Like,
sound like those two white boys that thought they was finna take over Haiti.
Exactly. Those are the type of people the military is full of. That's who the military is full of. The smart people go to private industry and make money. The dumb ones stay within the military. So DARPA's not full of a bunch of like brilliant geniuses either. Like that's the one thing. As I get closer and closer to people who are rubbing shoulders with people who actually are at the wheel and helm, I realize more and more of these people don't know they ass from a hole in the ground. They do. We live in a world full of people who don't know what the hell they're doing, but do it with all 100% pride and gusto. They just go 1000% without knowing what the hell they're really doing. Now, some of them may have ideology that they're following, but still, many of them haven't even thought that out. So we're not dealing with people who I give credit to being, on top of everything. John says, wait, I was one of the Army's first computer engineers. John, explain to them some of the people you worked with who were also some of the first gen computer engineers. Because I'm just saying, I mean, that's where my skepticism comes in. Do I think that's their goal and their will? Oh, without a doubt. I just doubt their ability to accomplish those said goals. I mean, in actuality, the only time they ever really do any of these, most major inventions and shit that you really see is from some other brilliant person who's poor in some third world country that we don't hardly know about, whether that is off the coast that's in Romania somewhere, that's in Namibia, that's somebody down off the coast of Chile who's putting together scraps from Elon's company and stuff like that and putting that shit together with duct tape and coming up with something. And then you have this, we found out new battery technology. Yeah, because you guys stole it from this motherfucker over there. All you're doing is copying and repeating. But you guys don't know how to do anything. Yeah, John said they couldn't even read.
That's hard.
That's what I'm telling you. I can't tell you how many crayon chewers I was in the military with. And
for the record, neither of my parents were. They were both Marines, but they both hold master's degrees. So neither one of my parents were crayon chewers.
I'm not saying they were, but you know what I mean.
Baby, some of they fucking friends. Some of they fucking friends.
You know what I mean. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean.
Dog, my mom had a friend who would do coke from Friday to Sunday. And I'm like, what? Coke parties Friday, Saturday, they start getting clean on Sunday. They definitely clean by Tuesday. What? Yeah. What? That's what you in the Marine Corps for? Insane. God rest their soul. They're definitely dead now. But, like, these motherfuckers are degenerates too. Don't get it twisted. Like, just because they got a nice uniform on don't mean shit. They still some degenerates.
Let me give y'all some of our military traditions. This is like for naval torpedo men. The fuel that goes in the torpedo is called auto fuel 2 to be exact. Do you know initiation for torpedo men is to drink a cap full of auto fuel?
At least I was like huffing.
No, to drink basically a shot of oil. So would you go and get some 40 weight oil for your car and just drink a shot of that?
Hell no.
These are the people that and then there's other ones for when you get to weapons and all these different divisions in the military. This is the kind of shit that they do for initiation. Telling you that we're not dealing with, and then the higher up that you get, a lot of times you're just dealing with people who know how to follow orders. So let's go into who are they following orders from? Because when I was in not Dick Cheney, but Rumsfeld micromanaged the hell out of the military. So these generals are getting direct orders from Rumsfeld on a regular basis. And most of the ones who had problems with stuff, they resigned. They got the hell out of the military. They're like, yeah, you're not about to get me tied up in this shit and get me going to Leavenworth later on or out to Colorado because I didn't follow some unlawful orders. So the ones who stay in power are the ones like Pete Hegseth. Those are the ones who stick around, who, you know, they're not the brightest bulbs. They're built on all ideology. And so they just listen. They follow orders. And so what happens to somebody who's been following orders all those years? All they do is keep getting promoted up and promoted up and promoted up. And so now you have the president is Donald Trump. The people which Donald Trump has put in power are the people they're listening to. You telling me that anybody who is listening to every word from Kash Patel and Dave Bongino are the most brightest bulbs?
Yeah.
Or are they just kissing ass because they want to move up? And they will get moved up because they're yes men. That's how the system works. The yes men move up and the yes men control shit. And that's how we end up with a bunch of dumbasses running everything. My brother in particular has told me, like, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but anyway, he's been in like meetings with Elon Musk. And he's like, Elon Musk is literally one of the dumbest human beings he's ever met in his entire life. And my brother has traveled the world, met tons of people, CEOs, all kind of people high up. And he said, Elon Musk is one of the dumbest people you could ever meet. And keep in mind, there's a whole lot of Elon Musk type people who are billionaires right now, who are running things. Now, if I'm the analyst and I tell you, sir, on this machine that we're working on, there's a problem with this, and if we do this and this and that, that's not going to work. And he's like, shut up, move fast, break things. Then you're out the door and they just bring in some other jackass. So you think that person is the one who's making sure this shit works properly? What you typically have is you have somebody built some stuff that's half-assed, and then they hide the fact that it keeps fucking up to the boss, and then Elon gets up there and claims that it's great, and that's how he ends up on stage breaking a window that's supposed to be smash resistant. I'm just saying. Yes, who's promoted by the media. That's all I'm saying. So I know that I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I don't know. I think everybody likes it when we have these interesting little fun philosophical, rabbit holes we go down.
I love it because
I love it too because
no,
I think it's the best way for us to like really hash everything out and let everybody think about all the different aspects of it and not just land on one thing. And that way they can say, you know what? Marcus made some good points, but Till made some great points also. So do I just look at this as a binary kind of this or that? Or is it somewhere in the middle? Is some of the stuff which he was saying over there a little bit true mixed with what Till is saying? And that helps y'all come to a more well-rounded, helps us come to a more well-rounded viewpoint on how this shit works. And that way we can get closer to the truth, right?
Yeah, because I mean, shit, as many theories as we threw out there, shit me, we hit some of them. And hey, yo, you ever seen those Vice meme YouTubes where it's like how Vice comes up with a topic and it's like 6 guys in a room throwing dildos at different topics taped on the wall?
No, I haven't seen it, but that's funny.
Oh my God, Steve brings them up because they do them every couple of months or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just because the titles on Vice are insane, but now that Vice has absolved themselves because they had to slide out, I feel so bad because they were the underbelly of news. But
I hate that
they haven't done them in a while. But there's like 5 or 6, and they're so fucking funny.
I hate that Vice is not a thing anymore. Let me try to find this real quick. because since we were already talking about CEOs and stuff like this, and Elon's name has got brought up a couple of times. Yes, I know Elon didn't create anything. Honestly, the one billionaire CEO who I think actually is very brilliant, even though I think he's evil as hell, is Jeff Bezos. I think Jeff Bezos is actually
Bezos, hell yeah.
very fucking
that nigga created his foundation.
He's very intelligent, very sharp. But let's go on ahead and because we brought up last week, we talked about the Netflix and Warner Brothers merger, right?
Yes.
So I think that is an important topic to follow up. What we heard right after that is Larry Ellison came in and tried to crash the party. So I wanted to share this video with you guys real quick. Let's see, where's that video? Which one do I want to share first?
Check me out. I believe these niggas is about to get y'all. They about to resell y'all cable all over again. We about to re-get direct TV. What the fuck? This merger is literally, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's not cable. Now it's not cable. Now it's so censored. Oh my God. Y'all, man, listen. All them dystopian, futuristic new movies when shit was floating, Fifth Element ass shit. We about to have Fifth Element TV. You can't fucking watch the news unless you pay for it. That shit used to be free. That shit is crazy. Don't get me started on entertainment. It sucks.
Oh well, I'm gonna get you started. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get you started.
What the fuck, y'all?
My goal is to get you revved up. Hold on, let me play this. Let me play this one real quick, and then I'm gonna give it straight to you after that so you can hop on the soapbox.
Paramount's now trying to steal Warner Brothers from Netflix because last week Netflix announced that it had won a major bidding war to buy Warner Brothers. They beat out Paramount, Comcast, and more, and it was a deal that sent shockwaves through the industry. Tons wondering, some concerned about what happens when a streaming service takes over one of Hollywood's oldest movie studios. Now you've got Paramount launching a hostile takeover bid, but appealing directly to Warner Bros. Shareholders with an all-cash offer of $108 billion. That's $18 billion more in cash than Netflix's deal. But also Paramount's offer would include all of Warner Bros. Discovery, including its film studio, streaming services, and cable channels. Right, with the Netflix deal, the cable channels weren't included and they had to be spun off. So you had Paramount CEO David Ellison, who also happens to be the son of a billionaire and Trump friend Larry Ellison, saying this offer provides superior value and a more certain and quicker path to completion and will create a stronger Hollywood. But one, just like the Netflix deal, it raised red flags for people in Hollywood. But also two, there are even more red flags, including Ellison's ties to Trump, as well as, some of the money, it's coming from wealth funds in Saudi Arabia and Qatar, as well as an investment company backed by Jared Kushner. But hey, for now, let me know your reactions in those comments, share to spread the word, and follow to stay in the loop, because Paramount's now trying to steal Warner Brothers.
So what do you think, after his little breakdown?
This is one of my new favorite things to actually pay attention to. So check me out. I've been watching this for a while because when my mom passed, my mom was big on cinema and stuff, big on movies, big on everything. So when it comes to me watching how our entertainment system is now going to be digitized and how easy it is to manipulate it digitally, man, I'm so scared and it bothers me. So like I buy vinyls of all my shit that I used to have on CD because it's very important to me to have physical copies of stuff. Because when the world comes to an end, and I don't mean like an end, like it's gonna blow up and we all just gonna be living with roaches, but when things start to actually deplete, when you can't believe what you see on TV anymore, when your eyes are going to begin to deceive you, that shit is insane. Coming from a blind bitch, your eyes not being able to tell you what's there and what's not, it sucks. Having one of your senses taken away from you is insane to me, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're going to make you deny. There is a point now in my life where I don't know, is this AI? Do you not ask yourself that before you believe anything?
Yeah, it's going to be hard.
Boy, and now you telling me one motherfucker about to own all of it?
That's what he's trying to do.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get out of here. Same way that I had to Google about the flood in Florida after I seen my friend say something about it. Bro, they could never tell y'all that.
Well, this is
Because
why
you didn't buy the subscription that told you that the world was coming to an end. You didn't pay the $7.99. Your auto pay didn't click through. Your social credit score isn't approved enough for you to be able to get that subscription. Let's talk about these digital IDs, y'all. Come on, let's really talk about this.
Yeah,
The UK already got it. Let's go.
It's gonna get dystopian real fast.
Real fucking quick. Real quick.
That's the reason why you hear all these things. It's about 2030, 2030, 2030. I believe 2030 is when their envisioned goal to reach the completion of all of these different things that they're trying to do. That's what I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe that's the goal. Now, do they always hit the goal? Like they wanted to invade 7 countries in within 10 years, something like that. It ended up taking like 30 years or more. But
I mean,
they did get it.
Sorry.
They did get there though. Here's another one that while we're on Larry Ellison, I want to put this one in there too for us to kind of stew on, because I got a couple of videos regarding this. Okay. Oh, this is the one I want to play first. Hold on.
Oracle's quarterly projections, but stock buy Larry Ellison gave himself $100 billion. Well, not quite. Oracle's stock price shot up 4% last Wednesday, which made their CEO neck and neck with Elon Musk to be the wealthiest person in the world, largely due to stock buybacks. Oracle used stock buybacks to artificially inflate the price of their shares? No, the 40% spike was because of Oracle's quarterly projections, but stock buybacks over a longer period have inflated the company's share price, as well as taken Ellison from owning 22% of the company 15 years ago to owning today. I thought buybacks were just when companies bought back their own stocks. Yeah, but it's also really important to understand what actually happens when a company does that. And to understand, you need to know that a company's shares can be split into 2 categories. There are the shares that are owned by the company, and then all of the other shares that aren't owned by the company are called outstanding shares. Why does that matter? Outstanding shares are used to calculate some very important things like earnings per share, which is the company's profit divided by outstanding shares. You're saying that when a company buys back shares, that's reducing the number of outstanding shares. Right. So if a company had $1 billion in profit and they had 1 million outstanding shares, their earnings per share would be $1,000. Is that good or bad? It doesn't matter. If the company bought back 200,000 of their 1 million outstanding shares, they're down to 800,000. They could have the same exact profit, but now it's $1 billion divided by 800,000. The earnings per share go from $1,000 to $1,250. The company looks like it's doing better without ever actually improving anything about the company or the consumer experience. And now people will spend more, which means that the share price goes up. But wouldn't that make it more expensive for Ellison to buy more shares for himself? But he doesn't need to, because ownership is also calculated based off of outstanding shares. 15 years ago, Oracle had 5 billion outstanding shares. Larry Ellison owned 1.2 billion of those. But Oracle has bought back 45% of their shares, which means they are down to 2.8 billion outstanding shares. So CEOs are using company profits to buy back company shares, which makes it look like the company is doing better, which means that the share price goes up. And since there are less shares in circulation, it's also consolidating CEOs' ownership over the company itself. A Palladino study found that from 2008 to 2018, non-finance related companies spent 75% of their profits on stock buybacks. This has to be one of those loopholes that the law just hasn't caught up with yet, right? Buybacks used to be illegal until Reagan's SEC legalized it in 1982. It's always Reagan. Larry Ellison gave himself $100 billion? Well, no.
So yes,
Did
we all follow along with that?
Yes.
Okay.
If you
All
didn't,
right.
I'm
So now I'm
sorry,
gonna give
but
it back
yes.
to you. No, well,
Okay.
break it down into layman's for everybody.
All right, so pretty much, oh Lord, I was about to make it an immediate drug reference, but it's pretty much like this. If you got a partner and you and your man's put
Good
in.
night. Good night. Sorry we missed that, Jackie, but good night.
Oh, Jackie's gone. Oh, good night, Jackie from the UK. So you and your man's, y'all go in and you make a pact and you say, look, every time I go back for y'all, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna re-up off of you. You keep investing in me. I'm gonna flip that and get that back. That's literally what it is. I'm gonna flip it and get it back.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna flip it again and get it back. That's how you do that's intro to any drug dealer in 101. You get it, you flip it, and you get it back. And you always have somebody inside between you and the plug. You always get your mans. You always have somebody you can always clean money with. That's what money laundering is.
And since you use that reference, then I'm gonna throw in an extra little wrinkle. It's kind of like when you get your powder and you decide to get some. Back in the day, they would always cut it with like some ether or whatever, so you could step on it a couple of times and make more profit. Now, what a lot of these young people are doing is they're cutting it instead of ether. Now they're cutting it with fentanyl, so it gives the appearance of having the same strength that it used to, but it's being cut with a very cheaper product. Now it's a lot dangerous, more riskier product, but it's able to be a lot cheaper. So it takes that initial product, which was expensive, cuts it down, gives you the impression that you're all still getting the same amount. That's the reason why they would talk about cutting it down, whether you were getting the shit at 70 grade, 80 grade, or down to 40 grade, which was still considered good, to like a 30 or 40. But what you were getting on the street, a lot of times you're getting somewhere around 15 to 20. And that was like the average. And if you got some real bunk stuff, that'd be probably like around 10. But the 15 to 20 is kind of more the norm that was on the street. So if anybody who was getting anything that was like 30 grade, they was getting solid product. But anyway, that's kind of what they doing. They stepping on it multiple times, so that when they're doing the flip, they're constantly making more off of the flip. Don't ask me how I know all this, but I'm
Good
just
job.
saying.
Good job. So,
but Till, you followed all that 1,000, right?
Yes. Because I heard when they say the consumer is not being rewarded while the shares are going the fuck up. Meaning it costs more to buy in as a regular nigga. But it don't cost more for this nigga to buy in because he's cleaning it and flipping it and giving it back to himself. He's his own cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
That's money laundering 101, my guy. This is the fucking mob. That is not the Italians this time. This shit is crazy. And they're doing it in front of our face. That's the other thing. And like this is so sidebar. One of my favorite, I'm so sorry he sucks, but it just sucks at this point. Neil Gaiman wrote the book American Gods, as well as Anansi's Boys and like Coraline. Those are some of my favorite books. He's one of my favorite authors. Well, they did an adaptation of his book American Gods, and the gist of the entire book. Have you seen it?
I've seen the show. I didn't read the book, but I know.
Okay,
of the book.
Showing the book. That is the only time they actually depicted it right. Show amazing. They need to bring that shit back. They're never gonna do it.
Oh my god, the show is so dope. But
hey, bro, are we not living in the time of that when they are fighting the technology crew?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, because it was talking about how some of the old gods are starting to go out, and right now you still kind of have a scenario where you see some of the old gods are going out. Almost, you know what? Even how you have that the one feminine god, how that's being risen back up through feminism.
Yes.
That god was kind of dead, centuries ago, and now it's come back. And also how you had Tech Boy, how Tech Boy is coming up, but then how you had what was it, steel, and you had the different metals, steel and all that, and then how it upgraded itself to the new one, which is now bullets and guns and weapons.
Yep.
And so it's showing how those gods would go through these evolutions to remain relevant and become powerful into this new world. So the guy who played Nancy carried the show. Oh, we don't even want to know what happened with Orlando Jones. Like,
Oh, Orlando Jones got kicked off the show.
yeah, he played
He
the
was doing
hell out
so
of a
good.
Nazi.
He played the
But
hell out of a Nazi.
and also, I think that a good thing about it is it helped people understand some of the powers that be when they start talking about we're fighting battles, spiritual battles, and you're fighting against, some people can call them demons, lesser gods, messengers, whichever kind of way that you want to, you could say angels versus demons. You could say, trying to remember what's the word that I want to use. Cherubims, not cherubims. What's the word I'm thinking of? The Elohim or Elohims, where Elohim is basically a pantheon of different spiritual beings. I know some people will say Elohim as in God, but that doesn't specify just God. It's a heavenly host. Anyway, it also goes into these different spirits and stuff that are going on in this world, because within the different spirits, you have a spirit of technology, a spirit of greed, a spirit of independence, a spirit of all of these different things, and these different spirits and intangible things that are going on in the realm that we're in have dominion over some of these different traits and characteristics, right? And I know the typical Christians, when you're hearing all this, you think, well, I don't know what kind of witchcraft stuff they talking about. No, you dig deep enough in the Bible, it's letting you know that, but you don't understand the translations. I'm not gonna argue with people who don't understand these deeper meanings when they want to simplify everything. But it's not simple. It's not simplistic. Well, even I won't see where I would probably disagree there, Yonina, when I see you put Nephilim. I think a lot of people misunderstand what Nephilim are. I really think they do. They go with more of the Christian perspective on Nephilim and about like angels mating with humans. And if you go into like really reading into the Bible, spirits can't mate with mortals. I mean, you're in two different dimensions, so it's impossible for that to happen. Spirits influence you to do things. They don't get in your body and do stuff. I mean, when it talked about Mary in the Bible, it wasn't just like magically putting a baby in their belly. I know Christianity believes in the virgin birth thing, but anyway, it's not what was going on. It put a spirit on her to influence her. So a lot of our Muslim brothers who will say, that toothache is a demon, and they'll say different things like that. There's some truth in what they're saying, because spirits influence these different things. In the Bible even talks about going down and putting a lying spirit on somebody. And so it's just these different forces and pulls that push on us to do certain things. I don't know. Y'all follow me? You with me, Till?
I am. I'm about to run in here and go to the bathroom real quick.
Okay.
Right.
And so, and that's what goes on in these people. There's a greed spirit that's on some of these people. And that greed spirit and the love of mammon, which pushes the love of money, which pushes people to do some of these things. So you have that old song, for the love of money, people will kill their own mother for the love of money. People will do crazy things, and it's that spirit of chasing that money that induces these certain things. So people like these Larry Ellisons, they fall to that. I saw Hamza put in there earlier about Jeff Bezos sold out for the money. Yeah, he started to worship mammon, started to worship the money. And there's nothing wrong with money itself. There's nothing wrong with money itself. You need money to be able to survive in this world. But it's when you start to follow the love of money, when you make money your dictator on what you are going to do with your life, when you let money guide you, when money is more important. For instance, that father who he's making good money, he's taking care of his kids, but he never shows up to their recitals and soccer games and all that because he's chasing the dollar bill. That's evil. That's evil. You're following this God. You're letting this God. You're becoming an idolater to this God. You're worshiping it. And that's evil. It's the same thing with these people. Like, hey man, I don't care if I make people like the reference I brought up about flipping the drugs and all that, putting fentanyl in there and it's killing people and stuff like that. You're selling a product that's already harmful. Now you're going to make it more harmful to people for a little bit more money. That's evil. And that's what we're talking about, for the love of money. Sorry, I went off on a little tangent there. Apologies. I know everybody don't want to hear my sermons, but that's just a little bit of my thoughts on that. So I got one other Ellison video that I wanted to share before Till gets back. And this one, see where it is. Hold on. Here we go. So let me mute myself and start this.
Because of Daddy's little boy. This is Larry Ellison's son, David. He owns Skydance Media, the company that just merged with Paramount. Larry Ellison's son. Larry Ellison is the guy who owns Oracle Corporation, one of the largest computer software and cloud storage companies in the world, that he interestingly founded after working on a major project for the CIA to build a database that was codenamed Oracle. So that's weird. Ellison's company now provides data storage to OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT. Oracle has a $500 billion partnered investment with OpenAI and SoftBank Group Corporation in 10 gigawatts of AI infrastructure in the United States over the next 4 years. So if we ask ChatGPT a question, the answer is very likely produced using data stored in Larry Ellison's company's database. In that cloud is data about everything. So Larry Ellison's becoming the AI data guy. He's a big tech billionaire who not only has a ton of power because of his own companies and investments, he has sway now through his sons too. David Ellison was meeting with the Trump administration to negotiate the huge merger between his company Skydance and Paramount, which also owns CBS. And no, South Park isn't the only show being affected. Notably, Stephen Colbert's show was canceled amidst the negotiations.
This is all just going away.
The FCC voted in late July to approve Paramount's $8.4 billion merger with Skydance Media and transfer all 28 CBS television station licenses to Larry Ellison and his family, because even if David Ellison is Paramount's new chairman and CEO, it's his dad who's footing the bill, alongside the private equity company Redbird, and it's dad who has Trump's ear too. Also, as part of this agreement, David Ellison pledged to abandon all diversity, equity, and inclusion programs at Paramount. This is just a ton of power to be in one family, and it puts Larry Ellison in the growing ranks of billionaire big tech execs who own major media companies, while Trump cuts funding for public broadcasting. But I'm sure nothing's going to go wrong giving more power to the guy who once said citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on. Or who suggested that the government unify all the national data to be put into a database and feed it to AI. But at least Larry Ellison can now continue to support his passions, like hanging out on his private island and racing his yachts. I'm not even kidding. He owns an island in Hawaii, and he's been heavily involved in yacht racing for decades and has won several major competitions, including the America's Cup twice, as the owner of Oracle Team USA, of course. They're saying Larry Ellison just became the most powerful man in America.
And so she left out there also that with this Warner Brother merger that they would be trying to do, they would also be taking in, more than likely, trying to hop in and take over HBO too.
Damn.
So
no more Real Sex 96.
So let's try to keep up. Let me skip to the end of that so I can recall all the different things that she brought up. How come it's not allowing me to skip? So back up one. So Skydance, Oracle, CBS, Paramount. Then that would also include Warner Brothers, HBO, And then just know that they're going to be probably looking at more companies even after that. Oh, not to mention TikTok. I forgot. Larry Ellison also owns TikTok now. And he's also put in IDF people who are in charge of censoring and following everybody on there. So that's about to be one thread that you're about to see. That's a through line. All of this is going to be very, very friendly to the Israeli government.
I wonder why Bezos hasn't given up his streaming stuff yet.
Oh, they're going to come for him also eventually.
I know. You think he's gonna get? You think he's gonna bend?
Of course he's going to bend. He's not going to have a choice. He's not going to have a choice. The thing is,
what they gonna Ned Stark Bezos, nigga? Please.
The reason why the reason why he's not going to have a choice is because Jeff Bezos was trying to, he was trying to do what billionaires have always done, play both sides of the fence. So if I toss money to Trump and I toss money to Biden, I'll be good. Well, he was trying to toss money both directions. And the one thing about Trump is he's not like Republican presidents of past. They're like, I don't care that you funded them. Okay, now you're going to be on my team. That's cool. Trump is like, oh, hell no. I can't deal with the fact you mess with them. The fact that you even engage with them at all, you in violation, homie. And so Jeff Bezos is in the doghouse. So that's the reason why Elon is getting all the smoke. That's the reason why Ellison is getting all the sway. That's the reason why you have Zuckerberg sitting on the outside looking in, and you have Jeff Bezos on the outside looking in. Now, what's going to happen is when Trump is out of power, that's going to sway back to whichever Democrat that more than likely wins, and Bezos will be back. Yeah, but it'll be too late for him to encroach his empire. And that's the reason why I think Ellison and others are going to be pushing harder and harder to be yanking whatever they can away from Bezos. Now, the only thing that's gonna stop them from completely knocking him off the block is because he still has Amazon, and right now Amazon is still eating up the Targets and Walmart, and they're attacking them. So he's going to constantly keep growing ground on that footing, whereas he's going to lose on his rocketry stuff. That eventually is going to get completely just pushed out to pasture, because more and more of that's going to be given over to Elon through government contracts, unless he can hold on to Blue Origin until another administration comes in and all those contracts revert from Elon over to him. I think that's the goal, because if that does happen, we could see Elon be cooked. And at that point, what do you think is going to be for sale right after that?
Tesla.
Well, not only Tesla, X.
Oh shit! And more than just X. What's his fucking internet?
And who do you think is more than likely going to want to acquire X? Larry Ellison.
Oh, communication. So is Ellison the communication demon or some shit?
He owns Oracle. Oracle's his main baby. Oracle is the one that is behind all of our AI, the cloud storage and all that.
And he's military.
He's the one who's basically been working with the CIA and all that for years, and has been like tracking everything. And so a lot of these data servers and stuff like that, they're going to need to go through him to some degree to build up a lot of this stuff. So Ellison's going to be there. Also, Ellison is right there in league and perfect partners with we brought her up last week, Miriam Adelson. There, just because people know her for the Dallas Mavericks and they know her for the casinos that she owns, don't forget that a lot of these billionaires invest into other companies, and one of the companies she definitely invests in is Oracle. So that's going to be the fact that Miriam Adelson and Larry Ellison both are tied in with Oracle and both have Trump's ear. You get where I'm going, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
And so if think about it, if Larry Ellison is able to bulldoze his way in, and his son David is able to get the Warner Brothers thing, and then eventually go after HBO like the plan is, I would not be surprised if eventually you see X on the market. And now the two biggest platforms that control political debate and speech, at least in the Western Hemisphere, TikTok and X would be controlled by Larry Ellison. And so it'll
And
be
they just
completely
and then we got
Zionist
our little
controlled.
and then we got our little law that's gonna monitor everything, see what you're talking about, check what you're saying. I wonder what company is doing that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
Oracle.
I just wonder how long. And I could see a reality where down the road, eventually after Bezos, hands over his empire to whoever's next in the wing, if they're not as sharp as Bezos, you can see that whole empire from Amazon streaming to what is it, Washington? Which one's he own? The Washington Post or Herald Examiner? I don't know, one of those. And you could see, the Amazon shipping, all that stuff eventually getting taken over by somebody else. And I look at just the power that the power and might that the Ellisons are building up. Good possibility that they're like Pac-Man and want to go after that too. Yeah, so we're looking at the possibility, and I wouldn't be surprised as you see more and more of these media companies start to go under because less people are watching a lot of these mainstream media. They're going to start acquiring those also. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see Sinclair get bought up next, and you start seeing all the news uniformly talking about certain things and ignoring other things even more. And they're not going to care about viewership. You know why they're not going to care about viewership? Because it's like the same model which Walmart uses when they move into a new area. I don't know how many people have studied up on Walmart, but when I was in business school, there's a whole chapter on morals and on business morals and ethics.
Ethics, yes, talk that shit.
And what it talks about with Walmart is how they don't care about profits for their first couple of years in the area. They move in, they actually scout the competition, they scout out those best workers, that cashier who you always go to because she always the one who's always on top of everything, that person in customer service that's always on top of things. They go in and literally recruit these people and pull them away from your local grocery stores, your local hardware stores, all of these different places. Bring them in, give them, because my ex-wife, actually, she was one of those people that she started at Walmart with healthcare benefits, dental, like what was it, like a hire-on package, all this shit like that. And this is, I'm not talking about corporate, I'm talking about just in a regular store as a cashier. It was like all kind of benefits and stuff, real good pay, everything. And they do that to lure all the top workers away from these companies. So when you go into that local grocery store that you would go into, now you're getting crappier service. Now it's a little bit slower because they got less employees. And then eventually with them dropping the prices extremely low because they'll get it wholesale. And they're able to promise that, hey, we're going to buy in bulk this amount no matter what every month. They know Walmart's money is good. Your mom and pop grocery store or your local chain is not going to be able to keep up. So therefore, their prices are going to start rising. As their prices start rising and they keep their prices low, it eventually starts running them out of business. And then once they run all these places out of business, then they're going to raise all their prices right back up. They're going to fire off those workers who had all the good benefits. My ex-wife was one of them. And that's how they do it. And then at the same time, when they get these workers in here who will stay, they're going to take out insurance policies on every single employee. Now, ask me, Teal, what kind of insurance policies are they taking out?
Oh, accidental deaths.
Exactly, life insurance policies. They have a certain thing. If I don't know if y'all have heard of, it's called dead pheasants insurance. Dead pheasants insurance basically is if that worker dies, it doesn't matter if it's work related, they can be at home and just have a stroke. They've taken out an insurance policy to be able to make money off of that employee.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's they might make 150,000 off of your death. Have nothing to do with it, and your family don't get a penny of it.
They don't
That's
even know
how
it
cold it
exists.
is. They don't even know it exactly. That's how cold it is. You send up there, you might go to the hospital because you just found out crap. I'm in late stages of stage 4 cancer. Well, they making money off of you right now. They're not even going to help you with the medical bills.
Nope.
No, it actually is pheasants. I don't know why, but that's how it was, at least in my textbook. Right? You've seen it, right? Teal? I'm pretty sure it's dead.
Yeah, I know exactly what story you were going to tell.
Dead pheasants, not peasants.
Yeah, pheasants. The birds.
I don't know why they calling people dead birds, but yeah, that's how it is in there. I was like, that's pretty jacked up. And they were like, is this like, legal? We were like, well, I guess so. I guess it's legal. But it reminded me of something when all these companies start running this way. And I remember I was watching a bigger streamer than ourselves, and they were talking about an evil CEO who changed the culture of how businesses ran and how the businesses run today. And he was struggling to think of it, and I knew instantly because I remember who this person was. They made a whole movie based off of this character in the movie Wall Street back in the 80s with Michael Douglas. You know which character I'm talking about?
Trying to think.
Let me go to my other channel that my other dormant channel. Don't play. Okay, I was making sure the autoplay wasn't on. Let me find it's in my I got a longer one, but I got one in the shorts that I could show. Where's it at? Maybe it wasn't a short, but I wanted to show some of that video real quick. Videos. Let's see. Hold on a second. Yeah, there it is. Let me share this on the screen. I'll go to my old channel real quick. So, a little blast from the past for me.
If you look back to the time period of, say, Jack Welch, when he was head of GE, the way he ran things as CEO completely turned the whole American economy on its head. And it went from where corporations and the big CEOs would give their employees a small percentage of stock, where they had all these retirement companies. I mean, not retirement, but retirement plans, decent benefits, had people making good money and all that. And then you had a guy like that come in, and he's the one who started pushing shareholder profit. Got to maximize the profit for the top. And the more and more they maximize profit, the more and more they cut away things for the lower income, or not even, I don't want to say lower income, middle class. That's what's for eradicating a lot of the middle class. And then you tie in stuff like what he was doing, and you tie in what's his name that we're just talking about. You tie in Kissinger. Kissinger was one of the people who was pushing a whole lot on the NAFTA stuff, which shipped a lot of jobs out of the country, which shuttered a lot of the cities, which led to poverty and higher crime rates, which eventually Reagan came in, and then CIA flooding drugs into the communities, and all of this stuff is all in concert together. Both parties just doing a lot of damage. It's not even necessarily a party because they're a uniparty. The only thing that separates them is cultural issues. They'll play the fight in front of the cameras, but when it comes down to it, they're all on the same team. And George Carlin said it best: "It's a big old club, and you ain't in it."
Yeah. So, and to expand a little bit more on Jack Welch, like the other video that I had, it goes more. Oh, this was what, 2 years ago. But anyway, the other video, it explains even more because what he did to GE was like criminal. Like how he hollowed out that company. It got to the point where GE's products like suffered and their products were crap. And so because of him just expanding, and it was just about stocks and cutting the employee work base down so much, it made it to the point where they couldn't survive. And probably, I want to say, 20 years after his death, maybe a little further, maybe let's say, no, probably about 20 years ago, 20 to 30 years, we'll say that. From 20 to 30 years after his death, he completely crashed GE. It completely just collapsed because he had it running only on the shareholder profits crap. Everything was about flipping more money and expanding this, buying this dead shell of a company instead of focusing on appliances, which they were known for. And so this CEO culture, which Jack Welch created, gave us the Larry Ellisons. It gave us the Jeff Bezos, the Elon Musk. It's the reason why a lot of people's local newspapers have changed so much. Or if you even have it, because many of them went under.
Yeah. That's why they don't ring bells anymore in the cities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it could be. I don't know.
No,
that's my new favorite conspiracy theory.
What
is the bells?
You're talking about like the hourly
that they took
bells?
all the bells out. Yeah, like there aren't any bells like anymore because the vibration reset humans. Real deep shit.
I mean, it could be something to it. I mean, I haven't really focused much on, on that expertise into like sounds and how much that plays into it. But there is something to it. Especially they talk about it when they were going with 440 hertz versus I can't remember, was it 440 versus 430 hertz as far as music, how that affects us differently, the vibrations and stuff like that, and the frequency. And so, I mean, that's not my expertise on that, and I put it out there that hey, I'm just talking kind of loosely of knowledge that I know. There are other people who are far more knowledgeable about this. And 432.
Hey, if anybody want to get on the show, and talk about it, I'm with the shits.
Yeah, anybody. Yeah, anybody that we got out there who does really, really know about this, please hit us up. Or if you guys know of anybody that we need to reach out to that really knows about this stuff, hit us up. Yeah, that's right, Yonina. Thank you. It's 432.
It's 430. It's 432 and 437.
Yeah, but what I was saying is the bad one is 440 that they have us on, and the 432, 437 are the ones that they said are actually better for us. And they said actually makes for better music quality. And I remember looking into some research on some ancient tribes and how they use frequency and vibrations to move heavy equipment. Like literally they were moving like large like boulders and stuff like that by like playing music and like rubbing like what is it? You know when they like rub those bowls or whatever that are made out of different types of metals?
Yes.
They were using that and the tuning forks and stuff like that, and like playing drums and all of this stuff together while like two of them were pushing something that was virtually impossible. And it's because of these frequencies they were able to create this vibration level up under it to like lift it and push it. I don't know. Interesting, very interesting stuff.
I mean, think about. I'm sorry. This is my shit. vibrations and sounds and music, that's my shit. I love music. Bro, you got to think about some of the most like animalistic, instinctual things when it comes to vibrations. Do you you fish? Do you fish, Marcus?
Occasionally, yeah.
Okay, I am an avid fisher. I love fishing. That's like my second like male characteristic. I work on cars and I fish. You know how to get worms, right?
Do you prefer freshwater or saltwater?
Well, I live in a brackish area, so I got both. I got the best of both worlds.
Because you have that here, but it's like, I guess when I was growing up, because we didn't have saltwater, I grew up more with the freshwater fishing, and that I felt like that's more kind of where if I lived in an area like that, I'd probably be fishing more. But the saltwater is not as much my thing, but I'll do it, you know.
You get too much wild shit. Jellyfish in your net, shark on your line, like just too much wild shit. Come
Also,
out that bitch. Eels.
Also, I feel it's more calm when you're fishing in a lake or a pond or a stream than
it's so peaceful.
From an ocean. That's what I'm saying. It's peaceful. So you get that relaxation thing with fishermen like to do, and they kind of just sit back and have a beer on the side of the banks or whatever. And that's different than having to get out on a boat or on a pier with a whole bunch of people around you.
Yeah, and that's like the perk of where I live. The Chesapeake Bay is brackish, so it's a little bit of both. It's mixed perfectly, right? So you can duck off in somebody's backyard in my neck of the woods, and it's that peaceful area, and you do get the best of both worlds. But the reason I brought up fishing is because if you go out, throw a shit ton of water on the ground, take 2 sticks, and you rub the sticks together, like you stick one stick in the ground, and you rub the other one up and down on the stick, you call worms up to the surface off of vibrations. They believe because worms, because they feel the extra moisture out of nowhere, you shock them with water, they think it's fucking raining.
Really?
And they come up to breathe for a look. Yes. So they think they have to come up to breathe because that's their time, because they have to stay moist. But they also breathe, they can breathe oxygen. So when you take a stick after wetting the ground and you rub the sticks together, it creates a vibration where they think, oh shit, it's raining. Now, this is another animalistic thing. Birds know that. And there's a species of bird that tip taps on the motherfucking goddamn dirt to bring them niggas up. I love vibrations. That's my fucking jams. So when it comes to all of this communication shit with technology and how they're trying to restrict it and hold it and shit, it's like, god damn, we need to get back to some natural shit. Y'all knew this is what they mean when they say go touch some fucking grass.
I completely agree on that, definitely.
Go touch some fucking grass. Go put your hands in some fucking dirt. Start gardening. Start getting your fucking life together. Because you're only going to be able to believe you and your little tribe, because this shit is about to get wicked. They buying up all the technology. So there's a show on Amazon called Has Been Hotel, and it's really dope because it's like animated American Gods.
Really?
And I love me a good anime. Yeah.
What show is that?
It's called Has Been Hotel. You'll love it, Marcus. It's an anime version of American Gods, and they are fucking fighting the damn technology god. Same shit. Oh man, yeah. Watch it.
Interesting. So, let's see what. Oh yeah. I guess I said that I was going to bring that up briefly, and I was kind of weighing on if I even wanted to talk about it or not. What was it? I was weighing if I even wanted to talk about it or not with the whole Venezuelan thing. What's your thoughts on the seizing of the boat and them claiming that it's cartel, it's narco stuff?
Did you pay our FBI agent? Did you pay him this week? I didn't get my half of the invoice. That's why I'm asking. Did you pay our FBI agent?
Yeah. I took care of it all this week.
We good? Okay, cool. Nigga, what? When the fuck has the narcos been playing in the oil game?
Say that again.
All right, that's it. Mic drop. When have the narcos gave a fuck about oil? And not to sound racist, but y'all know that I am a very educated bigot. That's the Arabs' fucking MO. That's ISIS MO, and that's them over there. They do the oil shit, not Venezuela, not the narcos, not the cocaine heroin dealers, not the ones with the factories in the middle of the woods making coke like they make moonshine in the Appalachian Mountains. Not them niggas. No, not Venezuela.
Because think about it like this: if the narcos were in the oil business, why would they need to sell?
Why they need the coke? They don't need the coke. Thank you.
They would have a perfectly legal business. That makes no sense.
Come on.
I mean, that's
they actually have a dog in the fight. They'd have a dog in the fight. They would have been one of these big dogs like Russia, China. Then we would have had somebody from South America to represent. Like it's the fucking Olympic Wars or some shit.
That's literally what the syndicate did. Like one half of the syndicate went in and took over casinos. The other half took over a lot of unions and a lot of construction companies, mostly in the Northeast. That's how they flipped it to legal. So if they were already into the oil, why are they still messing with the dirty money? That don't make sense.
Come on. I wouldn't need to.
I don't know. It's just like
I'm a big dog now.
It's just like their BS justifications that they're trying to do. Yes, Nina, this administration thinks we're dumb. And I'm going to tell you why this administration thinks we're dumb. Because they're dumb. They literally have one of the dumbest people ever in charge. And this is one thing that I could never get with MAGA. In what regards have you ever seen Trump to be smart? Like, how did you think a dumb person was going to make smart things happen? I mean, if you really know anything about Trump, this dude has done nothing but fail over and over and over and over. The only thing that's keeping Trump afloat is because of money laundering with every illicit person around the world that's kept his companies afloat, and because he's been a branding expert. What is branding expert? Somebody that's good with PR. That's it. Now, what happens to a company that's only good with PR, but they're not good at managing books? That means that they're good at bullshitting you, but there's no profits behind it. Bankruptcy, exactly. And what has Trump repeatedly done? Trump has had something like 13 businesses that went bankrupt. And y'all really believe that this dumb motherfucker right here was about to bring the country back? It just, and the crazy part about it is, before Trump got on The Apprentice, Trump was down bad. Yeah, I don't think y'all realize it. Trump was like in bad shape before The Apprentice. It's only because of his name branding that he was able to use the nostalgia to remain a pop culture icon. And that was because people used his people used his buildings in movies. And he had this facade of pretending he was rich. I mean, if you really go into it, Trump was literally like defrauding. Literally, Trump, all he's ever been is a fraud. I mean, I wish I had that little mic drop or whatever. That's all Trump has ever done. In fact, do y'all know how Trump got one of his first loans to buy one of his building projects? He called in to Forbes and lied to them. He literally went to the bank, asked for a loan on this project. They said that the project cost roughly about this much. He called Forbes, told him he had that much. Forbes put it in there, and then when that got printed through Forbes, the bank saw that Forbes said that he had that much money, and they gave him the loan.
It's crazy.
That's nothing but fraud. And this is how this man, he's bought properties. It's like, imagine, this is Trump. He bought this cup. Let's say this cup was $30. He had this cup for 2 years, and he said, actually, the cup's not $30 anymore. The cup is actually worth $3,000. And they said, sounds reasonable to me. That's what he's done with most of his properties. He's lied and just made up appraisal, and they've just taken his word for it. But you know, when you're rich and appear to be wealthy, they just take your word for shit. They don't even investigate it.
Facts.
And so that's how this dude has moved through the world, by fraud. And here's the thing about it: before he used that whole fraud, he went off of his daddy leaving him, you know, some millions, not billions. His daddy did leave him money. He left him. I mean, I can't remember the exact amount, but let's take that money he got and put it into like modern dollars. Trump probably got somewhere around like 50 million. And then took that 50 million and pretended he's basically worth, you know, 500 million. And they just bought the shit. Because his dad was a big time tycoon. And then y'all people, because a lot of these MAGA people are Trump's age, or at least remember when Trump was in his heyday. Y'all knew all this shit. This wasn't news. This stuff was reported in what was that show? Inside Edition and all that. That shit used to be on TV all the time. Everybody knew Trump was a big joke. Everybody knew he was a joke. And then these same people now turn around, Trump, because he was a great businessman. It's like, bitch, are you fucking retarded? I'm sorry, but it just makes me upset when I think how stupid these people are.
That shit was crazy.
It makes me upset when I think how stupid these people are. And so now we're surprised. And I know one of the things that burns you up even more. Till did you hear about the lawsuit that's going on with the ballroom?
What? No. What?
Now they're suing him.
What happened to the ballroom?
They're suing him as far as the
He
ballroom.
didn't pay these niggas for the fucking ballroom?
No, they're saying it's unlawful. So y'all let him go tear this shit up. Y'all let him go ahead and do whatever the fuck he's gonna do. Y'all let him have his Great Gatsby party, and then now y'all say that was we're suing you because that was illegal.
What the fuck?
So what it is y'all waited till y'all saw that the steam was starting to run out on Trump, and now there's a little bit of division. Now you got your nuts up a little bit. Now you can sue him. Instead of putting that lawsuit out at the time because you know he had momentum on his side and you were scared.
That shit crazy.
Yep.
That shit crazy.
Yonina says
this man is playing a bad game of Monopoly.
Yeah, and cheating the whole damn time.
Yes.
This dude rolling a 10 and go straight to jail, but he taking one extra hop to get past it. Every time he land on your property,
to jail and still collecting 200.
Every time he land on your property, instead he taking 2 extra hops, so he ended up on chance.
And collecting his 200 and still going to jail.
I mean, it's just crazy to me what's going on, and the funny thing about it is, I knew this shit was gonna fall apart like it is, and I knew it. I knew about this time. This was about when it's gonna start falling apart, because you can only do the crazy bullshit that he was planning on doing, unrestrained, for so long before it all falls apart. And when I was interviewing people, I mean, I still next time I'm out somewhere and I'm doing these interviews and I just spark up conversation with somebody, I'm going to ask them right at the very beginning, hey, you mind if I record this conversation? Because I had some great ones when I was just sitting on the train just BSing. I asked people and I'm like, fuck, I wish I had this conversation, because I can't tell you how many just average people who were like, well, the economy was better under Trump, so I want to go for Trump because the economy will be better. Okay, but did you not factor any of the stuff that happened during that time period? Why it got better or worse? Or did you just think that it was all? And I'm not trying to say Biden was this great president or great for the economy or anything, but for you to not see that the country shut down for a couple of years for a pandemic, and supply lines were all shut down. All that stuff was shut down. If you don't think none of that affected the economy, and then you give Trump credit when he's actually one who started the lockdowns. I mean, I get it. Biden kept the shit going, but I don't know. I'm gonna shut up. Till here, I need to. I'll be right
Obviously,
back. Here,
this economy
take it
sucks.
for a minute. You take it for a minute.
Obviously, our economy sucks, and Venezuela's trying to go straight. And Venezuela's trying to get in the oil game. Obviously, the economy's fucked up. Them people said, I'm gonna give up the drug game to get in the oil game as a mass unit of narcos. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Not to mention, how much drugs have y'all sold, goddamn it, to goddamn purchase an oil tanker? Like, didn't another narco family notice you bought a fucking oil tanker? Like, who pitched that idea to the big dog, the family business, or to the syndicate? Who pitched that idea? Was it all of the narcos together? Is it like split 8 ways? Like, I need to know this. I need to know. They're not doing enough. They're not giving me enough because I need to know. Because, like, that does not make any sense at all. And, like, what? And y'all don't think the economy's trash right now? Bro. Now how hard it is for narco families to even get along, let alone put together a plan of buying an oil tanker. Now, not even that part two. Think about how pissed off said narco's family is that they lost a fucking oil tanker. God damn, we just got that motherfucker. And they got it already? That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. I don't believe that at all one bit. That's a very peculiar. It's a very peculiar headline. And sorry, Marcus, if you want, I'll repeat it back for you. But I said what you said about the economy. Okay, because like in this economy, you think it's not bad. That's crazy.
Hold on.
Because like what are you talking about? Not in this economy. The narcos went straight. Bought an oil tanker. Marcus, have you ever heard of any narco family buying an oil tanker? Have you ever heard the MS-13s got all the money together from all the MS-13s? They did a cookie drive so they could buy an oil tanker.
They can't fool me on this because I remember the Koch brothers being very naked and open about this shit like 15, 20 years ago. How much they wanted to get into Venezuela. I say probably, around the Bush time, they were trying their hardest to get in there. That's why they had so much of a problem with Chavez. That's the reason why they have a problem with every president who is not basically ready to bend the knee to America. And all of a sudden, they're all criminals, they're all crooks, they're all dictators, everything is fake. And okay, sure.
Yeah.
But you notice here what Yonina put. Donald Trump received the present day equivalent of at least $413 million from his father Fred Trump's real estate empire over the course of his lifetime. $413 million, and somehow you managed to make less money and only made your money really off of this. Like, he made more money off of The Apprentice than he was making on his own business when it come down to profits. He was basically only making money off of leasing his name.
Who is his daddy? For real.
Fred Trump.
Because I just want to throw out, if y'all ever see, I know his name is Fred, but like, who is that nigga? But if y'all seen what Trump mama looked like, who is this nigga? Because you had to, woo, that woman is a peculiar looking lady.
Very peculiar.
That's the nicest way I can go about saying that.
Yeah.
And you was like, I'm gonna procreate with that.
Mm-hmm. So it's no surprise Trump looks as weird as he do.
Yeah, that ass. But it's like, out of all the bitches in the world, Fred picked Cruella DeVille.
Mm-hmm.
What? You piped Cruella de Vil and made a weird ass Dalmatian. Insane.
In fact, I'm gonna see if I can pull him up real quick. What Fred Trump looked
Motherfucking
like.
Fred.
Well, Fred wasn't a looker himself. So
See, I knew it. I knew that. I had a feeling.
Fred was not a looker. Fred looked like somebody who you don't want him babysitting your kids.
Ooh, child.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
Fred
what the
Trump.
fuck?
Yeah.
Nah, we can that. Who?
And this is the great grandfather.
You know what this
the
gives me?
grandfather.
Oh my fucking god! Oh my fucking god! You know what this is giving? Hey y'all,
What?
y'all know I love my cinema. We are living in 300 right now. That's the humpback nigga. That's gonna sell us out.
You know
they should have kicked that nigga off the mountain.
You know Trump is only third generation American.
Really?
That's what blows my
They should have
mind
kicked his ass off the mountain.
about how he's talking about for real Americans and all that. It's like
His immigration shit.
Oh my god, you shouldn't even really be here, your damn self. Y'all just got here. You making it like the founding fathers and all that. You're of German descent. Most of the Germans didn't even come into this country until like the 1800s.
Relax.
So what I'm saying is like, and I'm talking about most of these Germans came into this country like 1840s, 1850s. Like they weren't even like the plantation owners. They didn't even come in then. Many of them came in after that time. But they got here at the time when America was giving away free land to any white people who showed up.
We are smarter.
That's why you get to the Midwest, you'll be blown away by how many people in the Midwest, white people, are of German descent. It's not like the East Coast. A lot more of the white people who are born and raised on the East Coast, and I'm talking about the original East Coast. A lot of them were either British or like Dutch, Irish, Scottish. Those are like the original white people came over here.
Yep.
And then later on, then you had the Italians, and then you had a big wave of the Irish come in after the potato famine and shit like that. You actually had more Scottish here before them. You had like a little mixture, a couple little sprinkles
Scottish
of
and
French in
Spaniards.
here. Yeah. Well, the Spaniards, the initial ones, they were the ones who discovered a lot of the stuff. So a lot of those a lot of those early plantations and stuff like that were run. Like look up Aaron Lopez, and there's many people that you can look up. And honestly, if you look into them, even a lot of them were Sephardic Jewish. Did you know that?
No.
They were Jewish who were coming out of Spain and Portugal. And that was many of them were coming over here at the time when they were booting a lot of people out of booting them out of Spain, or making the Jewish people have to convert to Catholicism. I mean, hell. Let me pull something up. You won't even believe it. I remember when I looked this up, I was like, what? I'm gonna just put it on the screen, let y'all read it, because when I saw the book on this, actually, let me see what AI says. Pull up, come on, AI. So let's put this on the screen for y'all to read real quick. Yeah, I remember when I was reading this book, I was like, what the hell? I did not know this. See it here on the screen? Jewish Pirates of the Caribbean refers to a genuine, albeit often overlooked, historical phenomenon popularized by Edward Kritzler, 2008 book of the same name, in the 16th century and 17th century. Why is it cut? Oh, there we go. Many Sephardic Jews who were expelled from Spain and Portugal became privateers, government authorized pirates, and pirates primarily to seek religious freedom and exact revenge on the Spanish crown. Historical context: following the Spanish Inquisition expulsion decrees in the late 15th century, many Jews fled Iberia using their existing skills in navigation, cartography, and international trade to become outlaws or serve other European powers as privateers. They often form alliances with the English and Dutch, who were also rivals of Spain at the time. Key locations of these activities: Jamaica, under English rule, with the city of Port Royal, became a major base, home to the large Jewish community that supported the raids against Spanish treasure galleons. Jewish gravestones there sometimes feature the skull and crossbone emblem. The Mediterranean and other pirate ships like Sinai Rays allied with Barbary corsairs to fight the Spanish in the Mediterranean. And you start going through Moses Cohen Henriquez, Sinai Rays. Did you know any of this?
Okay, I got two questions.
Yeah.
Yes, Steve and I had talked about it before, but I have two questions. So when you hear stories and just like, I know you're a Hebrew Israelite, right? No, you're not. You are, right? You are Hebrew. Okay.
Yeah.
When they get talking about Jews and stuff, how that make you feel? Like, what Jews you think they took? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know that it gets muddied because the ones who were leaving and going to these areas were different than the ones who were going through some of the persecution and stuff. So you had two different groups who were there in Spain and Portugal at that time.
Okay.
You did have a group of people who you had two different groups of people who considered themselves Jews, and actually, I put it this way: one called themselves Jews, one was calling themselves something else. Mostly Yahudim, and they had different beliefs and practices. They were the ones who were going through most of this persecution. They were the ones who, and many of them were either, many of them were forced to convert, or many of them were also being booted out to parts into to Africa, in North Africa to be specific. And you even see that to some of the Spanish, the parts of Africa. You know, there are certain parts of Africa that Spanish is the first language.
Yep.
And that's from the expulsion. But once you get down there, you don't see people who you think are the modern day known for Jews. Also, another thing that's not often brought up when they bring that up about the Jewish Pirates of the Caribbean, one thing I feel should always be brought up is the you know what it's called, the damn it, how come I can't remember that group who was doing the Dutch Indian Company. If anybody who's listening to my voice, do your history on the Dutch East Indian Company. Don't get fooled by the name. Do your research on who was operating, who was running it, who owned it. Do your research, and you all get a big shock, and also it'll make sense to you why some of these people have so much wealth and power to this day.
Yep.
Because it didn't just start after 1945 and we built ourselves up by our bootstraps.
No, the fuck you did. Y'all have been in the game for so long underneath the guises of another name. And then y'all have moved so much because these niggas was moving spices during the motherfucking spice trades. These niggas started moving bodies. Catch my drift. Do your research because them niggas is terrible. Terrible. You wanna talk about the first Amazon?
Yeah, they was the first Amazon.
They were the first Amazon. What you want? We can get it. What you need? We can get it. We can get anything. We can get it all. And the more you get, the cheaper it is.
Yep.
And whatever you don't buy, we'll sell on the street when we get there. We got you. They were the nigga. You better talk that shit today.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, no. Well, I'm gonna talk this shit while we still can, because next thing you know, Larry Ellison gonna be trying to buy up YouTube next, because he gonna realize, well, shoot, we've clamped them down on we've clamped them down on TikTok, so now they can't say shit over there. Oh, we've clamped them down on X. Now they talking a little bit still spicy on YouTube. Let's go clock them down over there too. And so what happens is you'll still have people who know the truth, because here's the thing which they don't understand. This is the reason why you'll have black people who, no matter what, they know what our history is, they know what we've been through. But you'll have people like a Tom Hanks, like, what? I never knew about what happened in Tulsa. Yeah, but we knew. We ain't forgot. We know all of these different we know about all these different, I don't even know what to call them, but massacres, raids, all this shit that y'all been doing all over the United States from the time of after slavery up until Jim Crow and even beyond. Just because y'all didn't put it in the textbooks, just because y'all don't let anybody talk about it in polite society, don't mean we don't know. And here's the thing: when you get to the point and you start censoring everybody, where they can't talk about the shit that Israel is doing, they can't talk about the shit that Zionists are doing on these platforms, that does not mean that goes away just because you silence people on a platform, because it's still going to get around word of mouth, and we still going to be talking about it. What's going to happen is, yeah, we still going to preserve it word of mouth. You might be able to change the narrative and run your hasbara, but we still gonna be talking our shit. And what's gonna happen is eventually, because many of these Zionists, especially the ones who are like Israeli Zionists, they're in this community where they can just bullshit each other so much and have no pushback, that their arrogance is going to be their downfall. Just like the scripture said, pride goeth before the fall. So go on ahead, keep being arrogant, keep being belligerent. Go on ahead, Larry Ellison, try to buy up every freaking thing. I mean, y'all don't think there was a reason? Y'all don't think there was a reason why they were so worried about monopolies even back then? I mean, hell, did we not even learn the lesson of what the game of Monopoly was supposed to teach?
Come on.
Monopoly was supposed to teach you how bad monopolies are. And yet y'all let this dumb, orange, ugly ass pumpkin who's bald with a comb over try to get in here and just become the biggest. I mean, talk about running America like a chop shop.
Man.
I don't think we have never had a more nakedly corrupt president ever. I don't care who you put. You can combine like 10 presidents. None of them has been as nakedly corrupt as Trump. And then I heard people talk about, I didn't expect it to be like this. What the fuck you expect it to be like?
Well, yeah. How you didn't think it was gonna be this bad or something?
I'm like,
no.
You let an idiot run things. What do you think he's going to do? An unrestrained idiot who surrounded himself with bootlickers and idiots. What do you think is going to happen? Everybody got an idiot in their circle in their real life. Do anybody let that idiot be in charge?
No.
But y'all let the idiot be in charge of the country. Okay. And the only reason why he's in charge of the country is because the Larry Ellisons, the Miriam Adelsons, the Elon Musks, and all that knew that they would be able to get whatever they want from this dude. That he will sell anything. That he don't stand for shit.
Because he gonna make $1 off of everything.
He gonna and that's the thing. Most people be like, well, hold on. You want me to sell that? That's a big deal. I'm not just gonna sell that for pennies on the dollar. Not Trump. Trump is the dude who's selling you a brand new iPhone for $5. Even though it got a value of a couple thousand. He's that dummy who gonna sell to you for $5. And he'd be like, hey, you know what? Hey, I got $10 for you. And he think he made a deal. I'm sorry, I'm getting off my tangent talking about this dumbass dude. Oh no, Trump just pisses me off because he's so stupid. I actually had more respect for the Dick Cheneys because at least he was a smart evil genius. At least the people around Reagan were shrewd. They knew what the hell they were doing. At least the people around Tricky Dick, Nixon, they were shrewd. Evil. Clinton, shrewd, evil. Obama, shrewd, evil. But Trump is just a fucking idiot. And y'all let this dumbass get in here and okay, whatever. Sorry.
What happened in Rhode Island?
Rhode Island? I don't know.
Kids getting shot at Brown University, I think.
Again?
It happened earlier today.
Jeez. Oh, really?
Yeah. There's an active shooter on the campus. I was looking at it right before I hopped on the show.
Oh, you see what Chris is saying? He said, when I learned about the purpose of the war on drug, Tricky Dick cooked up, I was mad. Exactly. That's how sneaky these dudes are. That the shit that they do, you have to go back and examine it. Like, he did what? So he was behind this, and that connected to that, and he did this because he knew this was going to happen. Yeah, they thinking, not Trump. I want to say he's probably. I can give credit to evil genius level. That don't mean I like him, but you got to tip the hat to the evil genius. Not this clown. I don't know about that, but have you been paying attention to what's been going on with this Candace Owens thing?
She about to get murdered.
It's getting boy, the right wing is hot. How many out there in the chat, how many people have been following what's going on with this? And shout out to Chris. I see you in here. What's up, Chris? How many people have been following what's going on with Candace Owens this week? So here, I got some videos. Here, I'll pull up something real quick. Let me pull you up something real quick.
I'm just waiting to see if Candace so I was the special friend in Kirk's obituary.
Hold on, let's see. Shout out to my brother over there, Nico House. Nico over there with Hotspots doing the damn thing. Shout out to Nico. Shout out to Nick Cruz. They doing the Lord's work with Hot Shots. These quick bites, a lot of information that they summon up things and making it a lot easier for us to be able to get this information out there and keep it going. Yes, Stephanie, it is a soap opera. It is a gloriously hilarious soap opera. It is hilarious what's going on. That's why I'm like, y'all need to follow this shit. This is clown world that's going on right now. But here, check this out too. Listen to this.
Candace Owen just showed up like Tina with the bob cut, the customer service, and brought all the receipts. Just a few days ago on a live stream, Candace put out a few questions to TPUSA and their executives and simply asked to respond yes or no. For example, she asked, did Charlie intend on inviting her back into TPUSA? Yes or no? Did Charlie intend on cutting ties with the pro-Israel movement? Yes or no?
About 48 hours before Charlie Kirk died, Charlie informed people at Turning Point, as well as Jewish donors and a rabbi, that he had no choice but to abandon the pro-Israel cause outright. Okay, Charlie was done. He said it explicitly that he refused to be bullied anymore by the Jewish donors. Can you guys answer? Did he express that? Did he also express that he wanted to bring me, Candace Owens, back because he was standing up for himself? And then did he, just 48 hours later, conveniently catch a bullet to the throat before our onstage reunion could happen? It's a yes or a no. Okay, let's stop this ditching. Let's stop the dodging. Let's explicitly, I want to hear from Turning Point USA that I'm lying about that. I want you to say, no, it was just, he was feeling a little bit of pressure. No, I want you to literally answer what I have just said.
She gave them an opportunity to respond, said that she had receipts. They didn't respond, so she provided the receipts. Here's Candace on her most recent live stream pointing out in a group chat where Charlie Kirk did indeed say he was done with the pro-Israel movement, that he was tired of being bullied by his Jewish donors, and he did in fact intend on bringing Candace Owens back. And this was all said 48 hours before he was killed.
Charlie was done with Israel bullying him, and I am now going to present you proof of what I am saying. This is an actual group chat, which happened 2 days before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. So Charlie writes in this group chat, just lost another huge Jewish donor, $2 million a year because we won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Somebody writes, Charlie writes, Jewish donors play into all of the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause.
A group text chain that has been made known and released by Candace Owens. And I just want to address it head on because, that was a text grab, a screen grab that I had shared with people. So it is authentic.
A lot of conservatives and a lot of people from TPUSA owe Candace a big ass apology. As a matter of fact, two people in particular owe her an apology just about more than anybody else, and that would be Pastor Rob McCoy and Josh Hammer, who were both a part of that group chat. You see, it wasn't that long.
And see, this is rehashing a whole lot of information, and I wanted to share all this first so that we can get caught up to where we are now. But go ahead. What was you going to say?
That's crazy.
Because there's more. It keeps going. There's more.
There's more.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let Nico's video finish, and then I'm gonna drop some more info in there for you.
Okay.
Because I'm telling you, I'm like, how much more shit is gonna drop on this? Because I'll let him finish this, but what I was gonna say is recently TPUSA tried to fire back, and they were like, we're gonna have a we're gonna debunk all the crap that Candace has been saying, and she can show up here and do it live. And she's like, that doesn't work for me. You guys know that's the time that I normally do mine. Also, I'm across the country. Are you guys footing the bill for it? They're like, no, they just want her to just drop everything, hop on a plane, fly over to them instead of doing it, So she's like, okay, cool, whatever. I can't make it. And they decided they were going to do their debunking. Also, keep in mind at the same time, now you have what's his name? Where's the little cap? Tim Pool. Tim Pool is heated and going after Candace Owens also, and the same with Nick Fuentes. So just wanted to put all that in their pot real quick before we continue.
Gee whiz. God damn, Candace
Josh Hammer did a hit piece in the Newsweek calling Candace Owens a disgraced podcaster and suggesting that she was some crazy conspiracy theorist for suggesting that Charlie Kirk was at odds with his Jewish donors and was being pressured by them to not bring back Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and to not question anything Israel is doing in Gaza. And he specifically referenced the meeting with Bill Ackman in the Hamptons, suggesting that there was no significant pressure being put on Charlie, except for Charlie himself. In that message, admits he was tired of being bullied by Jewish donors like Bill Ackman. And maybe Hammer could have pretended he didn't know, except for we now know, thanks to Candace and her receipts, that you were part of the group chat where Charlie admitted he was tired of being bullied by his Jewish donors. So you were smearing Candace based on claims that you knew to be true and pretended otherwise. Then you got Pastor Rob McCoy, who literally gaslighted the hell out of Candace, saying that he wished that she would treat Charlie the way that he would have treated her in this time of mourning and be a friend. You mean like trying to figure out who actually murdered him and telling the truth about the pressure he was feeling from Israeli donors and Zionist donors? Oh, you wanted her to be a real friend by ignoring the fact that the FBI and the U.S. government is clearly engaging in a mass cover-up of the murder of one of her best friends. And Candace does let us know that that isn't really his pastor. He wasn't going to that church. Charlie had recently been going to mass, and it seems like he's only been legitimized as Charlie's pastor as a way to justify and legitimize the illegitimate criticisms that he's been making against her. And now it's time to put on my tinfoil hat, because Israel, it's starting to get weird now. All of a sudden, that letter that Charlie Kirk allegedly wrote to Netanyahu, you got to start questioning its legitimacy. We might need to pass that through some programs to figure out if he really wrote that letter. We need to figure out why Bill Ackman was lying about putting pressure on Charlie Kirk whenever we know now that Charlie openly admitted to losing $2 million from Jewish donors specifically because of his unwillingness to toe the line on Israel and his willingness to bring on people like Tucker and Candace Owens to his events. And we know all of the beef that Charlie had with his Jewish donors was specifically because of Israel. And the fact that people from TPUSA, even Bibi Netanyahu himself, and other politicians have come out and said how much Charlie Kirk was still in support of the pro-Israel, pro-Zionist movement, when some of those people were part of this group chat and knew for a fact that he was abandoning the pro-Israel movement. Bro, y'all not looking good, especially when you couple that with the fact that there's this massive government cover-up and y'all trying to blame the left for it. I hate to admit it, but maybe Candace was right. They couldn't have Charlie genuinely or opportunistically turn himself into another Tucker or another Candace.
So let me stop it there, because he laid out the premise where I wanted to start at. That's kind of where we started at, right? Well, also, Candace was calling out that she didn't buy into the official narrative on Tyler Robinson. And there's even more people on the right who are starting to question and push back and say, I get it, we hate the left, but this wasn't the left on that. This is something that's going on. Candace also came out with saying that she found that Erica Kirk was being followed by Egyptian planes or officials or something like that. And even Tucker came out and he vouched his credit to say, yes, she was correct on that from the information he found. Then, like I was saying, that was all the setup. TPUSA came out with their little pushback. It wasn't working as much. And so then from there, you had Tim Pool. Tim Pool gets into it and he's heated and pissed because she kind of came back at a lot of them, and he started talking about how she's basically ripping MAGA apart. She's destroying MAGA. And it's making it, impossible for the midterms, which if you think that the midterms were destroyed because of Candace Owens, then you're not paying attention to what Trump is doing. Anyway, he basically, Tim Pool said out of his own mouth that there's a possibility that because he's having to hire so much more security and different things like that, his words, that he may shut down the Tim Pool show. And he might cancel the show completely. Then at the same time, since that hasn't been working out for them, TPUSA, they decided to bring out Erica Kirk. Erica Kirk was like, y'all need to stop, she needs to stop with all the lies and stuff like that. And this is getting out of control. Then I don't know if you know about this other thing that came out, because Candace also started bringing up the possibility that Erica Kirk was Charlie Kirk's handler. Well, let me put this on the screen for you. So, is this the one? Yeah. Okay. So check this out. A photo has emerged of Erica Kirk with Benjamin Netanyahu's son, Yair Netanyahu, in 2019 in Israel. And then from that interview that she said something about Charlie came home, dropped the comb, whatever, Shabbat Shalom. Everybody's like, why is she talking about Shabbat Shalom? That's kind of a weird thing to throw in a phrase, especially if you're not talking to a Jewish person or it's not having to do with the Sabbath. It's kind of a weird just phrase to throw out there. And they found this introducing the Arizonian Israel Public Affairs Committee happy to welcome Yair Netanyahu to State 48. And why is Eric Kirk here? I don't know. Till I said a whole lot. So what's your thoughts?
Man, this is so deep. This is layered like an onion, man. Like Candace calling out the apple juices.
Yeah, hardcore.
Bitch, with receipts, bitch. You better. Woo, they can't kill her.
Well,
she
yeah,
can't come up dead right there.
Well, yeah, no,
we
you
gonna know
can't
what's
do
up.
that because then it casts more doubt on what was going on with Charlie Kirk. And if you go back to what happened with Charlie Kirk, James Lee did a real good breakdown on how fast they're trying to cover up and basically destroy evidence. Also how many different international pings that were there at the Charlie Kirk at the Charlie Kirk assassination. Is a lot of weird things that were going on, and it did not make sense. And everybody jumped on how the Tyler Robinson communication was weird and didn't make sense, and it almost sounded like it was ChatGPT. Also, I'm one of those people who still call into question. So wait a minute, a 30-06 round traveling from that distance would have absolutely no problem going straight through a collarbone. It would not stop in a collarbone. But that's the narrative that they tried to spin. Even if you try to say, okay, well, it hit the vest and tumbled up, the wound would be even larger then. Also, the round would be more mangled. It's just a lot of things that don't make sense. Also, you're trying to tell me that even if, let's say, Charlie Robinson was a skilled marksman, that under that situation with that much pressure on you, actually physically taking a person's life versus just aiming at a target, which, yeah, plenty of marksmen are great shooting at steel targets, even at a moving target that's not alive. But once you add in the factor of an actual human being and but as far as we know, supposedly Charlie Robinson's first time taking a person's life, in a high pressure situation with all of these people watching and trying to think about planning your escape route and all that. And let's not even get into all the weird things that don't make any sense about him needing to break down the weapon in the field at a moment's notice and get the hell off of the roof and then reassemble the weapon and then lay it in the woods for somebody else to find. It's a lot that does not add up. And Candace was bringing up a lot of these different things, and she has been on it. Now, do I think Candace is still a weirdo? Still a weirdo and a piece of crap? Yes, I still don't like Candace. But if somebody is right, I don't care where right information comes from. If the information is right, it's right. Or if the questions are legitimate questions, I don't care the motivations for these questions. If it's legit, it's legit. Now, I do think she's doing this for make money off of it, of course. But I think that there is part of it where maybe she did see Charlie as an ally or a friend, and that she was getting to come around. Oh, sorry. By the way, shout out to Michael out there. I see you stepped in the building. What's up, my brother? But there's just a lot that doesn't add up about this. I see Rondell also. Oh, you do know, Till, that they also like cemented over a lot of the stuff that was there, and they allowed people from TPUSA to take cameras and stuff away, and it did not get tossed into it did not get added into evidence for the FBI. I don't know. It's a lot that did not add up to this and did not make sense to me.
Look, the entire thing, as far as Charlie, the trajectory of, like, I knew off cuff that whole Charlie Kirk thing was a facade or a hit, however you want to call it. And then I'm trying to tell you, ever since she's been on this whole like I'm Charlie Kirk's special friend in the obit, I said that for a reason, because it's kind of funny that she's acting like the side bitch. She's acting like the side bitch to your uncle that had a second family that you didn't know about.
Yeah.
And she got something else to say. And then it's the fact that she's calling out the Jews on top. Oh shit, I said it wrong. The apple juices. The fact that she's calling out the apple juices, and they got to actually play low-key damage control right now, which is even crazier. Because I ain't never seen somebody have them up against the rope dead to right. But at the end of the day, they're the apple juices. They're going to deny that shit regardless. Or give you a story that you're going to believe that sound good enough for it to be true. Damn, Candace, you finna die soon.
I see Michael, he's saying what's up. Yeah, the people should be questioning things. I don't like anything where there's no question to. You can sit there and you can question how many people died in the Potato famine. You could question how many Native Americans were genocided. You can question how many Black people who came here through slavery or who were bred through the breeding farms. You can question every other freaking atrocity in the world, but
not the Holocaust.
I just don't like it when you put disclaimers on certain things you just can't question anymore. I still have my questions on I don't really feel like I have questions on JFK. I kind of have what I feel are my conclusions, what I believe about JFK. I just don't have the evidence to prove them. But this situation here, you got too many inconsistencies that don't make sense. And I believe that this situation, yeah, Michael, I do believe she's grifting, definitely. But I also think she's right too on what's going on here. I think there's a cover up. I do not believe that Tyler Robinson was the actual shooter. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. I don't even think that the round that they claim was the round that killed him. I don't think that was the proper round. I don't think that was the actual round. It reminds me it reminds me a lot of JFK with the magical bullet theory. You're telling me that this round traveled through this person's shoulder, and this person's arm and this person's leg and through seat and animal, and then went through part of a dashboard, and now it comes out perfectly intact. That's not how rounds work. That's not how shooting works. I mean, the moment that it hits any kind of hard surface, that bullet is going to deform. It's going to deform. It does that. That's just not how things work. And the fact of Kash Patel also changing the story multiple times. The fact of how proper evidence gathering was not done. I mean, the fact that you had this weird guy who happened to be at this high-profile assassination, who was at another high-profile assassination. That's just
and
weird.
He's an apple juice too.
It's just there's too many things that don't make sense to me.
And he's an apple juice too. And then you get mad at they're making the frogs gay. You get mad at Alex when he points out weird things that happen at the school shootings. In my opinion, I feel Alex Jones is connected to the school shootings. Candace is going to be connected to the weird assassinations.
Yeah, like for instance, I still don't buy the Trump attempted assassination. I'm sorry. I gotta see, and it's weird to me
The
how
ear
all of a
clip.
sudden, it's weird to me how all of a sudden that just dropped off. Nobody even talks about it anymore. We don't
No.
there's like, okay, case closed. We're not gonna get like, okay, a final resolution to the case. This is kind of like a Warren report, which you had with Kennedy. There's no, okay, here are the conclusion of all the details, and none of that.
No.
The FBI is not releasing any of that. That's weird to me, especially since Thomas Crooks, who the Thomas Crooks, the alleged shooter, is now deceased. That should be a
Thank
case
you.
closed, and now information out. It's kind of like what happened with Epstein. When Epstein passed away, a certain amount of information was released, but some of that information was still held up because of the fact of Ghislaine Maxwell was still
Being on trial.
in prison. Well, even after she was on trial, you still have a certain amount of time to be able to appeal. And so while it's going through the appeals process, that information still has to be sealed. That's the reason why when I heard a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, Epstein died and the case was closed, so the information should have been released at this time." No, when you have a co-conspirator who was on trial, or
that
even if
co-defendant.
exactly, because that information is applied towards them in the conviction also. And so if they are trying to contest and basically trying to go for an appeal, that information has to be brought back up. And so if that information is brought back up, it can't be released to the public.
Nah, the most you can get is their discovery. That'll be it until that case is completely done up, and they're outside of their statute of limitations to be in it. Oh no, yeah, they're pretty much like they're outside of their time frame to appeal. Once that's good and they can't contest, then yeah, they can release. But even then, they're not gonna release all of it.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It's because like they'll black out a specific name, or you know what I'm saying? They'll still cover up whatever. But no, now if Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein both was up in this bitch pushing roses, oh yeah, we should be able to get that. No problem.
And the only thing that would still be sealed is victims.
Yeah.
Victims' information. That would be the only thing
because they're still alive. And that's because they're still alive. You know what I'm saying?
And all it would be is that in the court documents, their names and other information will be redacted, but everything else should be able to be released at that point. Well, with the redactions, of course. Here I'm gonna respond to this that Chris was saying real quick. He says all the stuff the Democrats did to Trump feels a bit fake considering what Trump is doing now. And what he did his last term seems like it was meant to lionize Trump. Yes and no. I believe the stuff that Trump was doing was actually illegal. But here's the caveat. It's illegal, but it's stuff that many rich people are doing that's illegal. And the fact that they decided that we're going to go after him on these illegal things versus letting it slide like we do on other people is where the rub comes in. It's kind of like even though I don't like Eric Adams, it's the same kind of situation with Eric Adams. The corruption and stuff that he was doing is not unique. It's the same kind of corruption that probably has been going on throughout New York and been going on for the longest. All of a sudden, they decided to go after him for it. And the reason why is I believe that he went afoul of the party and started doing things against the party. So they're like, okay, this stuff that we normally would let slide, we're going to hit you on it. It's kind of like if a cop is sitting there and he's letting cars go by 10 miles over the speed limit, and then all of a sudden, because you're on his negative list, you're going 8 miles over the speed limit, which is still illegal. He's stopping you versus letting it slide. That's what's going on with Trump. That's what went on with Trump anyway. There was a lot of stuff that he was doing that a lot of other people were doing also, but they were letting them slide and they decided to hit him on it. Now, I don't like Trump, but I'm at least going to be honest that that's what was going on. Now, the lionizing him, it's what it is because they weren't able to hit him on it. And I think the reason why is if they would have hit Trump on those things and actually resulted in like actual jail time or something like that, then that sets a new precedent. And when you set that new precedent, now other people who are guilty of that crime can be also sentenced in that similar way. So what you do is by actually putting the conviction on Trump versus just trying to muddy his name, they felt like muddying his name might be enough to keep him from getting reelected. Joke's on you, that didn't work. But if they actually did go through with actual convictions on all these things, which required different types of sentencing, now you set a precedent. So when the next person gets into power and they go after, say, Chuck Schumer, or they go after Pelosi, or they go after Gavin Newsom, or they go after any of these other people who may be doing some of these similar things, now you set a precedent that, okay, this is 5 years in prison. Now you're going to start having a situation where all these other politicians are getting locked up too. So they can't do it because it hurts themselves. But at the same time, they can try to sully his name to hope it works in political ways. So that's kind of my understanding of what went on. I don't know. Anything you want to add to that?
Okay, so I know the Apple Juices as being this type of community anyway. It's like you can't get in and you got to be hating from outside the club type vibe. And correct me if I'm wrong, and you know which Apple Juices I'm talking about. You know, you can't talk about the Holocaust, right? You can't bank at their banks. I mean, you can bank at their banks if you want to. You probably, I mean, you are banking at their banks, but you can't bank at their banks. You know what I'm saying?
You can't get the special deals, you mean?
Yeah, you can't get they lawyers. And you get what I mean by that. Yeah, the special deal, because it's only for them. It's not even a special deal. It's they niggas. It's they, you know what I'm saying? It's they homies. You don't get the homie deal because you're not a homie. And to see Eric Adams and all these motherfuckers claim that they going 50 states for Israel and like we represent Israel. They don't want you at the club, bro.
Oh, speaking of that, there was one more video I wanted to share with you. And this one kind of hit a couple of more people on the right. This one by our buddy and friend of the show, Mad Crab from shoot, why am I blanking on it? Why am I blanking on their network? I'm
Saturday?
so sorry. No, Independent News.
Okay.
This is from INN, one of the INN colleagues over there. Let me put this on the screen. And he brought up about Ian Carroll. Familiar with Ian Carroll?
Who's that?
He just kind of came out of nowhere and is become like this big talking head who kind of leans more to the right, I would say.
Isn't that young ass white boy?
Yeah, here he is. Let me play a little bit of this.
Yeah, the bracelet game, dude. Bracelet game. So there's, I don't know what it was. It's like a screen grab of you on Candace, right?
Yeah.
And
What was the whole episode?
yeah, so somebody took a screenshot of it, right? It's like, hey, are you wearing it?
No, I got rid of it because everyone threw such a fuss.
So you're wearing a red bracelet, and it is true that there is a red bracelet.
Yeah,
and
no,
it's all.
well, I found out it's the
Tucker-
exact same one later.
It's the evil eye thing.
Yeah, exactly, evil eye.
So people get a picture of Ian. They get pictures of Tucker, who's also wearing a similar thing, and a few other people. And it's basically like Ian's part of the cabal, the Illuminati. So what are your thoughts on that? You shared this story online, but
Yeah, no, let's talk it through. So, I mean, I'm new here. I had heard about the red bracelet thing, and I had seen it about people freaking out about Tucker, which I had already thought, like, come on, like, Tucker, you really think Tucker's like a Kabbalist, like this fucking, like, deeply Christian white guy?
skeptical.
Well, whatever. Like, and I mean, like, Tucker's got a history, but I thought he had a red string, like a red singular string. So I've been under the impression that the red singular string is this like Kabbalah thing or this like whatever. And so when I got given this gift, which is, it's kind of awkward to get a gift from your girlfriend's dad, but whatever.
Like Illuminati, like,
Yeah, I'm in it, and it's like whatever. It's like I love this girl, and like I'm not going to disrespect her father. As like we're about to like hit the road, and like he's not going to see her for a long time. It's like I'm going to treat him with respect. So I'm like, thank you, and I appreciate it.
did he say like this is for your protection or what?
No. So she had traveled to Greece when she was much younger, and like in Greece, it's an evil eye thing, and it's the exact same kind of bracelet. And so she had liked those they're like an Irish Catholic family. She was just like a young girl that was like, oh, these are cute. And so they had a tradition of him, like, because he travels for work, and when he does, he'll like buy her one. And so he came back from travel just like a couple weeks ago, whatever it was, and bought her one and thought, I'll buy one for Ian too. And it happens to be fucking red. So I realized that the internet is gonna think that's. I didn't realize it is literally the same thing, but I thought it was like they're gonna think that's like Tucker's bracelet. And I'm like, yeah, fuck it, it'll be pretty funny. So I put it on and I like wear it because I also realized that it's like my first day on Candace. Which I mean, Candace would be pissed, but whatever. It's like that's hilarious because I know who Candace is. She's not like in some fucking Illuminati. She's like exposing the president of France to be married to a man, probably her uncle, probably a Rothschild. But I put it on and I wear it, and then I learned like, and you're right that when you search, it's like actually that evil eye thing in Greece is seen as an evil eye thing. It's around the world, but in
Let me just stop because I know this is kind of all over the place. You like, Till, what are you thinking of this? All right, because I don't know if you knew about this whole red bracelet thing that's been going on with a lot of the people on the right that have been wearing this red bracelet that ties back to Kabbalah.
And I didn't, because I have an evil eye tattoo. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I have evil eyes in my house. I have Greek friends that, you know what I'm saying, gifted them to me from Greece. I've like, when they go home, I ask them, they're like, yo, can you bring me like a real one from overseas? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't know this red bracelet, red pill ass shit was happening.
Yeah. This is something that's been going on, and people have been questioning, and a lot of people have questioned, like, even Ian Carroll, where the hell did he come from? He just kind of just popped.
Yeah, where did this kid? Yeah, who the fuck is he?
And I look up. I mean, I want to say he probably has like 500,000 subscribers, and just kind of came out of nowhere.
Is this Charlie Kirk Jr.?
Oh, not really. I don't even know how to really categorize him.
Well, I'm saying it in reference to like how he just came out of nowhere, because I didn't even know Charlie Kirk until a week before that boy was about to die.
Really, you didn't?
Not really, because
I've known about him for a while from all the college campuses. He's been going around the college campuses and engaging people to, and that's how he's made a name for himself. No,
I know who he is or whatever, but it was more or less like I didn't give a fuck, because like, okay, it's another loudmouth racist going around college campuses. Bring that shit to the hood.
Well, yeah, that's how.
Let's see.
But this is how the infrastructure on the right is, and I know I've mentioned this story before, but I'll mention it one more time. An ex I had, her father was telling me, he was like, yo, if you would drop all this left-wing shit that you're on, I could really I could use you and I could move you up and have you on TV probably in the next couple of months. Like, I could really get your career off the ground going with politics and stuff. And this is before I was doing like a YouTube channel or anything like that. This where I just had my own views, and I was just I was more in the protest activist kind of circle. And he was like, if you could just drop your political ideology and kind of go more with the right, we would start you up on a channel. And then, because how it works on the right is these guys will start off with, whatever talking points that they're given. And then what happens is they get sent around, and each one of them cycle each other around. So the same thing with the Ian Carroll, with the Christopher Rufo, with the Ben Shapiro. I can't remember that goofy ass black dude too, but all of these different people, what happens is all of these Republican, these right-wing channels, they will sit there and put you on channel after channel after channel after channel after channel. And that builds your audience from all of these other channels. And then after they built your audience on all these other channels, the next leap is they'll get you on the Fox News, that gets your profile up higher, and then they put you on the Laura Ingrams, and and that's how all of a sudden, boom, you're sitting at fucking 1 million subscribers. Because it's almost like a whole infrastructure that they have built to, take a brand new channel and just astroturf it all the way up into now this new big mouthpiece for the right, which you don't have an equivalent to that on the left.
And why doesn't the left have it?
Because the left is more classist. Either you come in from the big colleges and universities, and you get a job at as an intern at the New York Times or Wall Street Journal or some shit like that, and eventually you get in with CBS or whatever intern level and work your way up. You can't just be some average person just talking without the background. And so it's a class thing. You got to be part of that class and be kind of grandfathered in through legacy and stuff like that. You'll see a lot of these people, their parents worked in media, or they were on TV, or they were an aide to some kind of high profile person, and that's how they got to where they are. It's because of connections, and they were already up there. Whereas the right will take any Joe Schmo who he could have been a plumber yesterday, and now he's talking the way that they want to hear people talk, and he fits the right demographic to push a message, and they'll all promote him up. So for those who didn't know how this shit works, that's how it works. That's the reason why you'll have, like somebody brought up Nick from RBN, the how RBN got up to where they are is what I call bullying the algorithm. And it's smart if you can do it. How you bully the algorithm is I don't think that they intentionally did this, but because they formed a network and they had a bunch of different voices who were all hungry and all putting out content on the same channel. They had Nick, he's putting out his, CJ's putting out his, Savvy's putting out hers, Roman's putting out his, and then they had additional people. There's so much content being whipped out on that channel that it forces the algorithm to put you out there. And so like-minded people are going to eventually see your stuff because it's just so much stuff there. And that helps build your channel faster and faster and faster. That's why I say what we do is like a labor of love, because hey, we get out here, we'll do our show once a week. We're not worried about really pushing the algorithm. And if we blow, we blow. If we don't, we don't. We're just happy that we get this message out there to you. But if for instance, let's say we did have another 3 or 4 people who we felt were like-minded, and we brought them on to the channel, me doing stuff, eventually we're going to get this stuff set up where Teal will be doing her stuff. And if we had a couple of other people, eventually we would start bullying the algorithm. And then as more content coming out, it would just naturally raise our channel up. Now, granted, on top of, having, I think it's good content that we be putting out there that helps. But I think you do have to have good content. You do have to have something that is a need that people care and want to hear and want to see. But the bullying the algorithm is the way. It's volume. The algorithm pushes volume more than anything. Sometimes it's good volume. Sometimes it's good content. Sometimes it's just a lot of content. I'll let you guys all decide. But that was the same thing. How I can't remember his name, but it was a young kid who kind of came out of nowhere. And now he's up to a couple million subscribers. I'm sure Yonina remembers who I'm talking about, who a lot of people didn't like him. And why come I can't remember his name? I could see his face perfectly. He has this little snobby looking face.
Snobby looking face.
Yeah, he does. He's from out here. He ended up moving out to like Miami or something. He was talking about MAGA communism or something like that. But that's what he did. He would just be on streaming like freaking all the time. Like, how is this dude able to stream? And I guess he was able to, have wealthier parents out here in Orange County, and able to just decide, I'm going to make it. Yes, thank you, Stephanie. Jackson Hinkle. That's who it is. Jackson Hinkle was able to just stream. And if you just put the content out there, it will help. And then what he did, what Jackson Hinkle's, what pushed him over the notch is he'd start challenging people to debates, much bigger people, and he would just keep going after him and over and over and over. The Sam Cedars and then Piers Morgan and other people, and that's what skyrocketed him up. He put out enough content, got on the radar of certain people, and then he would just like put out content, and sometimes he'd just be on streaming for like ever. That's the same thing with Hassan Piker did the same thing. He's able to do that because he's Cenk's nephew. He was able to come onto a platform that had already 4 or 5 million people, get his face on there in front of all these people, and then take away an audience, and then just build from there and hop onto Twitch and stuff like that, which was kind of a newer thing. And he got to be, you know, part of the pioneers to something like that. And that's how these people, some of these people grow and get really, really big. I mean, but I think that you do have to have some talent. I'm not saying that everybody can do it, but Candace Owens, how Candace Owens did it is Candace Owens did it the right wing way. She was able to grift and hop onto big networks. She was at because she had her time with TPUSA. She had her time with what's the other one? This PragerU. And when you get into that network, you can jump up really fast and build an audience. Then she went over to the Daily Wire, another large podcast. And then from there, I mean, another large network. And then from there, she was able to funnel her own large platform. That's how most of these people do it. And to a degree, the same thing with Nick Fuentes.
Oh my God, that white boy.
The same thing. Oh, that's right. I said I wanted to talk about him a little bit. I forgot all about that.
Which one?
Yeah, that's
him
all.
And Piers going neck and neck.
Yeah.
My God. Oh my God, Marcus.
Hold that. I want to hold that just for just a second, because there was one other thing I saw in my in our research that I was like, fudge, I forgot to bring that up. I talked about it at the beginning of the show, and I want to bring that up because I think it's important. Doesn't get as much attention, but I think it's important. So let me bring that up. But I definitely want to talk about Nick and Piers, because there's some stuff that frustrates me, and I think that I don't want to let that get by. So where is it at? Oh, by the way, did you notice about the Chinese naval ship that just so happened to decide that they were going to coast over to Jamaica to provide help?
Yes.
Yeah, I said that to one of my another guy I work with who he's former Navy also, and both of us look like, what the fuck? That don't sound right. So this is what I wanted to. This is something you guys can already know about, of course. Well, I guess I can sum up the pricing thing. I don't want to share the video because it's like a super long video that I watch. Well, not super long, but I don't have my points in there to go piece by piece. But oh well, this one. Oh well, I guess I can skip this one. This is about private equity and the one man who's controlled private equity.
Mm-hmm.
You know about that? That's leading to the school to prison pipeline.
No.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I'll be forgetting about some of the research that I have in here sometimes, and I was like, hold on a second, I can't let this one go. I got to make sure I bring this one up.
Well, I mean, I've been keeping up with Jordan suing NASCAR right now. With that, he claiming that NASCAR's a monopoly and that thing, and then it's like, well, bro, you got private prisons. Shut up.
Yeah, Chris, you're right. China and Jamaica have a business relationship, but the ship that in particular went over,
it's a warship.
It's a warship, and China has never.
They never have offered services to niggas
for no country. China has not.
Oh yeah, no country, but
China, period.
But they really don't like us. Have you not seen Minister Society?
China got countries like right next to them on their doorstep that they won't help.
India.
They'll watch Indonesia get just obliterated.
Come on.
And they ain't got no beef with Indonesia, but they won't go and help them.
Why they ain't help Thailand?
They don't care.
Why Why they didn't help the Philippines? Why they didn't help Thailand? Why they didn't help Hawaii when they was having some shit going over there?
Why they didn't help Japan? I mean, they don't help nobody around them, but all of a sudden you're going to coast all the way over to Jamaica to help? That was
Vacation
weird.
spots? Whatever.
I think what it has to do with what we brought up last week about communities starting to pop up in Asian provinces that dealing with a little small country in the Middle East that has ties to larger Western countries. Guys, catch my drift?
Okay.
I don't know. Due Dissonance has done a good job talking about it, but I know that you already been talking about this, Till, so I had to bring this one up. I know that this is something that's in your wheelhouse that you've been paying attention to, but Sister Girl right here breaks down some information. And she's cooking, so I'm gonna let her cook for a minute. Coffee is running through me, so I'll be right back.
No, do you think?
Textbook company that has a monopoly in private schools and public schools all across the US. But do you know who owns it now? Because that to me matters more in this moment. And I want you to understand who is controlling the narrative that is teaching your children right now. And I don't think you're going to like it. So if you don't know, Platinum Equity owns McGraw-Hill. They acquired them in 2021. But who owns Platinum Equity? Well, I'm going to tell you. Platinum Equity is a private equity firm that was founded and is operated out of Beverly Hills, California by Tom Gores. Now, who is Tom Gores? Where's he from? What's he all about? And why is he controlling all of the textbooks in America? Thomas Gores was born in Nazareth, Israel, and then he matriculated to Michigan, where he grew up and became a big player, billionaire in American politics and in American industry. Now, I talk a lot about private equity, but Platinum Equity is known for some horrifying investments, especially in the for-profit prison system and exploitation racket and in the education system. I want to show you how they're creating monopolies that are single-handedly driving up costs for the poorest people and the people with the least amount of leverage in America. Now, in addition to owning the Detroit Pistons, why do they all own sports teams? Why? They also own Jostens and McGraw-Hill, which have monopolies on contracts with schools everywhere in every public school system in America. You know, that company that has every photograph that's ever been taken of your child and controls it and its likeness. You know, that company that has a full-on monopoly for all class rings, all graduation materials, everything that you have to buy that has a price that's fixed, that is exploitative so poor people can't afford to graduate and have the things that everyone else can have. They own them, of course. And McGraw-Hill, which has a near monopoly on the entire school book industry in the United States. But wait, there's more, because what I want to talk about is an investment they made in a company called Securus. Now, Securus was a company that created technology to enable communication between prisoners and their families outside of for-profit prisons. And it's amazing because as soon as they acquired Securus, Securus got monopoly contracts on an entire massive prison system. And suddenly what happened was the prisoners were cut off from in-person visits. They said, we don't have in-person visits anymore. No, no, no. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to make it where you have to use these external phone systems. And that's the only way you can see your relatives. But it comes with a price. There's no more free visitation. And what happened after that is horrifying. In 2024, multiple civil rights organizations filed civil lawsuits against Securus that said that once they entered the jail system in Michigan, what happened was they hiked up the pricing on calls to families so that you were paying a minimum of $12.99 to $20.99 to see your kid for your visitation. Only prisoners don't have $12.99 to $20.99. So if you didn't have money, you didn't get to see your children or your family anymore when they could have come to visit for free in person prior to this. Now, they started charging 21 cents per minute for phone calls that were not video calls. And then they set up a kickback scheme where 50% of every one of those phone calls was getting kicked back to the county to stop people from seeing their relatives, their children, their family members, their friends. And the contract went further. It had a minimum guarantee that they would get at least $190,000 in kickbacks for the county for forcing these prisoners to use this system. Now, study after study has shown that when prisoners are given access to a strong support and family network, they are much, much more likely to actually reform themselves and do well coming out of prison later. But if you're in the for-profit prison system, you don't care about that. You want that revolving door spinning like this. Now let's talk about how our education system plays a critical role in how our young people are trained to either move into success or failure and on track to a prison system.
Yeah, Shorty on point though.
The prison and public school pipelines to prison is a well-known and established problem in the United States. It's oftentimes the way that they choose where to build for-profit prisons is looking at the third grade reading levels of people in public schools in a given area. And when they see that the reading levels are very low, they know that 15 years from now, the prison need will be higher. And that's how they choose where to build for-profit prisons. So you have to understand that controlling our education system, controlling our scholastic programs is also creating a pipeline to the prison system. And private equity has their hands in all of it. But it's also how we instill and shape public opinion from an early age. And I want to show you one of the ways that they're doing it for adults in America, because they also happen to Cision and Centerfield. Now, if you're not familiar with Cision, Cision is literally the leading technology provider for tracking and shaping PR and marketing narratives in the United States and the world. They control and track every Google reference, mention, PR, press release.
Till, did I lie to you about she was cooking?
No, she is eating their asses up. Damn.
And thinks she got another here. I'm gonna let it play. This is another minute more she got to add to it.
Because I'm like, damn, she right about all of that. And I said, damn, she is right about that. And then, like,
Yep.
you know, Ghislaine Maxwell's daddy owned McGraw.
Yep.
Before man. Go ahead.
I'm telling you.
They control everything that shapes public narrative and public opinion on any and every given issue. And they are also owned by Platinum Equity. I don't like coming on here and being doom and gloom. I don't like coming on here and talking about private equity constantly. It's dark. But people have to start to recognize that the entire world has become monopolized and controlled by the hands of 100 people that literally control everything we buy, everything we do, everything our children learn, everywhere that we take our kids, everything we read online, everything that happens in prison systems and foster care and everywhere in between. And if we don't wake up and start passing some referendum laws to bring an end to it, we're not going to be able to bring it back in. We have got to start making a difference and demanding more. And this is not a one-party problem. Both parties take this money. Both parties benefit financially from this entire system. Both parties leave Congress and run off to sit on boards of directors at private equity firms. Ask Kristen Sinema. She just did it again. All right.
And we knew that bitch was going to do it the whole fucking time she was elected.
Yep.
It was so obvious.
So, like, you have to understand that these people don't serve us, but we have to start serving one another. And we can do it through passing referendum laws, getting private equity out of home ownership, getting private equity out of monopolistics, passing new regional antitrust and monopoly laws at our state level. We can make a difference, but we actually have to try.
Yeah, she told no lies there. She like the thing which shocked me. I was like, wait a minute, Jostens too? Hold on. The people you buy your class ring from and your
school photos.
I'm like, and your school photos. Holy shit! I did not know that. I was like, yeah, this is like. Because here's what I like to do. You know, I know we talk about these things. We know a lot of these things. But how often do we ever like really get down to the names and the actual companies? And this is what I like to do. I like to highlight them, bring sunlight to them. That way we can make these cretins famous. They need to be known. They need to come off the tip of our lips. We need to know these companies because you don't get anywhere doing the Bernie Sanders, the millionaires and the billionaires. You don't get anywhere doing that. Give some fucking names. Because then the masses can go after their asses.
That's
what I'm talking about.
She was cooking.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She laid out a whole litany of stuff. So when I hear bringing this around to Nick Fuentes, when I hear him make certain comments, And like, and I'll bring this up also because there's people who I listen to where they push back against this and say, "Oh no, this ain't what's happening." Bullshit! It is what's happening, and we can show you receipts repeatedly. Look, right there, we just said is Braley born? Is controlling the whole school, the books, textbooks, private equity, and stuff like that. That's tied to schools, prison pipeline. That's documented. We got look at what Larry Ellison is doing right now. Look at what Mark Zuckerberg is doing over here right now with the whole Facebook, Instagram, threads, all of that stuff. The whole meta glasses and all this crap that they're trying to do. Look at freaking Holly. I mean, TikTok now. So what I can sit there and name you 4 or 5 people just right off the top of my head who have massive controls of major parts of this country. Just a couple of them. And we all know that there's way more. You can't sit there and try to feed me this narrative that there is not this kind of control that's going on. You can't do that with me. And I know I'll hear Piers try to push back on Fuentes. One thing, I don't know, what do you think about watching that back? Sorry, before I skip off to that, anything you want to say also on what she was saying? And I do need to look up this lady. I'm pretty sure she's on TikTok, so I have to probably find her.
Man, bump that Nick and Piers.
Okay, all right, let's go to that. The final topic, because one thing that I wish that Piers would have done, I wish he would have kept that same tone that he had the first half of it and kept it the whole half. I know Nick is annoying and he makes you want to jump out of your skin and start yelling at him. But don't hit. I don't know. To me, it's weird. I don't know why is a whole portion of white guys, young white guys, who they get a kick out of trying to get rises out of people. I don't get what that's about. I don't get why that gets them off and gets them their jollies. Like, oh, you know what's really cool? I want to get people mad. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why don't you go make yourself happy instead of worried about trying to make other people mad? It's like, fuck is that? That's weird. And then when he tried to like defend, like people say, oh well, they're mad because he doxed his father. Oh well, fuck it, he a racist. I don't give a shit. But
Yeah,
how you gonna try to pretend your father he doesn't share my views if he's going around saying that this is black fair and we'd never go into this stuff that black people this, black people that? He's fucking racist. Period. I don't know how you try to. That's where I lost. Not that I respect this guy, but I thought that he was always the one that stayed 10 toes down. He was doing more playing the victim and try to run from shit that's clear. You brought up the story about your racist daddy. And also from the story, I kind of got the impression that not only your daddy is racist and you're racist, probably your mom and your sister are racist too. This is all a little puddle of racism over there. And the crazy part about it is y'all talk about this country like the founders and this and that and try to connect yourself to it. All of y'all are immigrants. Y'all only go back a couple of generations too, your mama and your daddy. And y'all want to try to talk about making this like this white country and white America. You guys are immigrants too. How do you have the stake on trying to decide how this country is going to be? This ain't your country. That's wild to me. That's just hearing just the audacity. Like you know what? If he was white British and his family goes back to the damn Puritans or whatever, I'd almost have more respect for it. It's like, okay, you guys stole it, so you feel like you guys bled, sweat, and tears for it and made it your own country and all that.
Now, what Nick say? Are you a black person?
But you came in on the tail end of some shit that was stolen by somebody else and trying to just bandwagon.
When Nick asked Piers, are you black? Are you a nigga?
You black? I said, ooh, shit. I wasn't even mad at him. I wasn't even mad when Nick looked at Piers and asked him, is you a nigga? Is you black?
Because that's the crazy part about it. It's weird. Piers was acting like he was kind of standing up in defense of black people when we already know you don't defend
You're not.
black people. You're not team black people. You're not an ally in any kind of fucking way. So it's kind of weird watching somebody who has, very I guess
Wild ideology
views
when it
towards
comes to black people.
You got
Yeah.
peculiar views towards black people, and yet you want to chastise him for his peculiar views too.
Yeah, because his
Like,
ideology of black people is completely opposite from what he was trying to characterize when he was talking to Nick. And I give Nick his props because he ain't backed down at all. Nick did not back down at all. That man kept coming at him. Yeah, I said it.
I just feel like what I did gather from him is what I gather from Nick Fuentes is he's a sheltered little white kid who grew up in, and I get it. Yeah, he got some Mexican, but whatever. He a white kid to me. He a sheltered little white boy who watched stuff on the news and I'm so terrified. What's going on the south side of Chicago? You're not around it. You don't know nothing about it. You lived harm free, and most of the people you know lived in virtually no danger ever. And you're just fomenting crap that you're grifting off of. I guarantee you, some of that he probably does believe in because he comes from that upper middle class suburban stay away from the poor's mentality, where there's always a tinge of racism. But I think he adds on some of the extra groiper shit. Also, here's another thing. He's a troll. Exactly. He's just a fucking troll. That's how I see it as. And I think at this point now, he's growing out of some of that shit that he was trolling. And now he's kind of faking it a little because I don't think he holds on to all of those views as much. Because if you've seen some of the stuff like that some other people have been showing him, he's been going back and forth against his own viewers.
He has ever since Charlie, or a little right before Charlie got murked. He was denouncing, like I wouldn't even say denouncing, but he was kind of like backing off some of his views to his own people. Like he even like really was like, "Yo, some of my followers are fucking weirdos."
Yeah, like and here's it. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, and I've been seeing it, and that's why when I watched him go in on fucking Piers, I was low-key on his side because it felt like he was like picking at Piers because he's like, Piers, shut the fuck up. You don't like niggas either. True. He literally was on some like, boy, shut up, because you don't even like him either. I probably like him a little bit more than you do. So don't sit here on this show trying to fucking defend somebody you don't even like. Shut up.
Yeah. I wish also that I did like one thing I did like that Piers called out is these people on the right and their numbers are always way to fuck off. They get these weird propaganda, these talking points, and it's like if you look it up, how is the prison population? In fact, I'm gonna look it up right now. Let's see. The black prison population is what? Black prison population in America. By number. I want to know numbers. I want to know how many black people are in prison. What number? Because it likes to do these percentages. And I'm like, no. Okay, there we go. Because it starts telling you around 32%, 38% of people in the U.S. prisons and jails are black. That's not what I'm asking you. Motherfucker, answer the question I asked you. In absolute numbers, in 2018, 465,000 black inmates in state and federal prisons. In 2022, Black individuals made up 30, I don't care, of the roughly 1.2 million incarcerated. So let's keep that in mind. 1.2 million people are incarcerated in a country of about 350 million people. When they talk about of that 32%, they're only doing that to try to prop the numbers and make it look like more. What that boils down to is, of all crime, not just of Black murderers, of all Black criminals, comes down to less than 1%. Period. It's far less than, there's roughly about 40, 47, 48 million Black people in this country. Less than 500,000 are in prison. But yet you want to act like is this danger, this reeking danger of if the numbers that they come up with, that would have to be millions of Black people are murderers. How do you have more murderers than people who are being arrested and all that? I mean, far higher. How do you even know? Because what you would be saying is, if there's that many more murderers, then you're saying that they're unsolved murders. So how can you know a number if it's unsolved? How do you know it's not the same handful of people who have been killing a whole bunch of people who are just getting away with it? You can't know on the unsolved numbers. So therefore, how can you say that there's more murders than the amount of people who are being caught murdering? Does that make sense to you?
No.
You'd have no way to factor that number
At all whatsoever.
Because for some of those unsolved,
it's not valid math.
For some of those unsolved, how do you know that it's not? How do you even know what the race of the person is who are these unsolved murders? That's why they're unsolved. Nobody knows who they are.
But you classified it as murder, though. You classified it as homicide, though.
The number which they're going on is how many Black people are to be incarcerated within a lifetime. Which that number is, what is it, like 1 in 3 Black males or something like that. 1 in 3 Black males will be incarcerated. Now, what that leaves out, how many are exonerated? When you look at the exoneration rate, that cuts that whole 33% down. It demolishes it. And then what you find is it comes down to the actual amount who are incarcerated and actually held to account, not exonerated, to roughly the same percentage, slightly higher than the white population. So whereas white population is somewhere around like 12% or something like that, Black population will be around like 15%. Ooh, big numbers. And then they'll be like, but per capita. I'm gonna tell you why per capita doesn't make any sense. If we talk about, like, let's say for instance, these 500,000 people of Black people who are all hardened criminals, then what is the raw number of white people? If white people in this country comes up to roughly, I think the last I saw was like 120, 130 million or something like that.
Damn.
Then that would mean the white population in prison is higher than the Black population in prison, right?
By default, yep.
By default. So even if per capita it's higher Black people, raw numbers, there's more white criminals. See, that's a game that these people on the right love to do. Or I'll just say white supremacists love to do. Per capita. No, fuck per capita. What are the raw numbers? Because if there's, let's say for instance, if I walk into a room, there's 10 Black people there, and I say the number of criminals there, the number of, let's say, violent criminals there is 20%. That means that's 2 out of the 10 Black people that you got to worry about. If that's 100 white people in that room and it's 20%, then that means that's 20 that I got to worry about. So which one are you more worried about? The 2% are the 20. I mean, the 2 people are the 20. Or let's say even better. Let's say, it's actually 30% of the black population and 20% of the white population. If there's only 10 black people here, then okay, that means there's 3 of them. Are you more worried about these 3 people or the 20 people over here? That's why every time I hear per capita, I'm like, this is a fucking game all these white supremacists play to try to make themselves look better. Fuck per capita. Let's look at raw numbers. And it blows that bullshit out of the water every time. That's the reason why they don't never want to talk about raw numbers. Just like I watch Pearly Things have the nerve to say, black women date more criminals than white women do. For one, how could you compute that? For two, even if you were going off of black women dating black men by this per capita thing, how many white women are dating? How many people are only dating within their own race? So under this theory that you have that white women date far less criminals, even under your own theory that black men are higher criminals and brown men are higher criminals, how many white women are dating black or brown men under that own theory? See what I'm saying? When these statistics that these people use is just bullshit. And when I hear people that's the reason why I laugh at when I see these large channels and people pay more attention to these large channels. I watch arguments that they miss, and it's like, if I sat on that panel, I would eat you up with that bullshit logic you're using.
They don't want no smoke though. They don't want no smoke.
I might pull the Jackson Hinkle route and just fucking start challenging big channels.
And we're definitely not going to be up here long. Our FBI agent going to wipe us out.
Well, but that's the thing. If I challenge the big channels and I don't go at I think low key he kind of on our side. He just be doing what the boss tell him to do. I think our agent is low key on our side though.
Me too.
He's like, man, y'all know how it is, man. Boss be on my ass. I gotta cover my back. Oh, what else did I want to bring up that I didn't about Nick? I really think dude is kind of like that's the other point I wanted to bring up about the incel thing. Till what does incel stand for?
I don't know. I just know that there's some weirdos.
Incel stands for involuntarily celibate.
Oh.
Now, Nick Fuentes is rich and single and has women who throw themselves at him. You're not involuntarily celibate. You're voluntarily celibate. That allegedly. Because I don't know. I think he tooting that thing up for somebody.
He got to be gay.
That's what I think it is. You can't say you're involuntarily celibate when you could lose your celibacy. And there's women who are saying, hey, I'd be happy to do it. In fact, one of them was like, yo, I would be happy to go on a church date with you. And he was like, oh, that's gross. There's there's nothing I want to do less than go on a date with a girl.
Oh yeah, you gay.
You're not involuntarily celibate then. You're not like your little nerdy ass groiper friends who hide behind Catholicism as why they're a virgin. It's not because you're a Catholic. It's because even if you wanted to get some, nobody wants to give it to you. And you feel too proud to pay for it. So you're not getting it. That's what happens. And so you hide behind your Catholicism. Because I bet you this, those straight groipers, if a girl was throwing it at them, many of them would take it if they could. But I also believe many of them are gay, just like Nick is, and they're fighting against it. That's what I feel the real thing is. It's like that dude who's single, but tell you, oh yeah, I got a girlfriend, but yeah, she lives in Minnesota. Okay, why don't you try to meet a woman closer?
All the girls here suck.
All the girls here suck, so I gotta have one that's super far away.
Digital
Nah, it's
girl.
bullshit.
You made her up. You ain't got no digital girlfriend. That girl doesn't exist.
There, you hear what Michael said? He said, "LOL, both cells are worse than incels. Punching down an incel should be considered ableism. It should be. Yeah, that's a good point. And that's what it is. Nick is not an incel. He's a vocel. If he is actually celibate because he had that time with the Catboy, and he said he missed the Catboy days.
Hell no.
You know about the Catboy stuff, right? Yeah.
No, I don't.
You man, I gotta show you that.
I don't. Baby, I get ass, and I deal with men that get ass.
Like, I don't deal with these weirdos.
No, I don't do that. I don't need to worry about people that don't get no ass. Hell no. Boy, there's so many college boy. If you don't go get you a happy ending and go about your life,
where's that picture?
Jesus.
Let me find that picture for you. When I saw it, his name was Cammy. Oh, dang it. It's bringing up like a show. Okay, I'll just share this screen here. I wish I knew a way to just go to the pictures and it was old school where you just click on a picture or phone version. But for some reason on this damn computer, it doesn't want to show it right away. Now look at how he's looking at him. Look at how he's looking at him. Look at this, Teal. You seeing this? This is Cammy the Catboy. Yeah, I don't know what I was going into down there, but this one right here. You see these two? Oh, you're on mute, Teal.
I was like, they've been in love with each other for a long time. You can tell. You can tell that's his boyfriend.
The way he looking at him, I don't think he's a virgin. He just might be virgin to a woman.
That's wild.
And looking at that image, I think Nick is the taker.
He is happy too.
Mm-hmm. And he tried to blame it on. This is what he tried to blame on his reasoning for why he couldn't hang out with Cammy anymore. He said because everybody was like bullying him on it, and he's like, it's because Cammy is like way more racist than I am. Like he really loved Hitler.
Okay, I guess.
You're telling me that your Groyper audience had a problem with the fact that he was more racist than you and liked Hitler more? Okay. Sure, if you believe that shit, I don't know, but to me, and how he talks about women, like, oh, that's nothing. I wouldn't rather do it. This is what he said when I saw that video. He's like, no, I couldn't deal with like some little like a shield mating, like no Catholic girl. It's like, no, I'm a beast, bitch. You're a virgin. What are you talking about? You say you're a beast. He's like, I need like a real freaky girl or some shit like that. How would you know if you're a virgin? Like that's how I know he ain't no virgin. He doing weird, freaky shit with other dudes.
That's insane.
And then he tried. What was the other thing he was saying? That so if women disgust you so much in so many different ways, then you haven't ever explained what type of girl that would be the perfect girl for you. That's why I'm like, I think this dude is completely grifting. That's why I start questioning more and more how much of what he even says is true.
Well, I think he's just a troller, to be honest.
I think he's just a troller, and I think he's gay. I think he's probably a gay liberal, really. Boy, talk about that destroying his career. If it came out that actually Nick Fuentes was a gay troller, that
Well,
he was
I mean,
a gay liberal.
most of Black Twitter is white people.
Hell yeah.
You know,
Hell, most of Twitter these days is bots anyway.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So like I wouldn't
After
be
Elon has
surprised.
destroyed the platform, only
Yeah.
bots can hang out and people who I don't know. I'm not gonna say everybody's bots there, but yeah, compared to how it used to be, I think this thing is flooded with nothing but bots or people who are just from India who are just trying to India or different parts of Africa or whatever who are just trying to spark controversy or bots out of Russia. Who knows? I don't know. Elon has found a good way to like completely just fuck up that platform, in my opinion. I don't know, but that's all I got. That's all I got. I won't keep you much longer. Yeah, seeing as we've almost went about 4 hours today.
Got the majority of my ride home straight.
I don't know. Did this help with your ride? Make it go a little faster?
It really did. It really did. It really did.
How close are you to home now?
I'm parked. I'm chilling.
Oh shit, that's perfect. Then you go right in, go grab you some grub, go chill out.
Yeah.
Oh well, shit. Well, that's good shit then. I'm talking to Justin, and I don't know. I'm trying to plan it out. I don't know. Maybe one of these days we might hop on during the week and figure something out. I think he's been getting called in to work on Saturdays lately, so it hasn't worked for him. I think after football season, when we switch back to Sundays, though, I think that might work better for him.
Word. Okay.
So, because I really kind of want to get him on because I already know this stuff is going to keep going on, and somebody who is formerly part of the TPUSA youth program in the colleges, somebody who actually met Charlie Kirk and all that was engaged because he like ran his he was like head of his TPUSA chapter out here in California. And so it'd be real interesting to get like some of his perspective, especially now that Justin has like evolved politically and sees things so much differently now. Oh, and trust me, everything you saying about the apple juices, he been finding out that I just found out this, and man, I've been finding out that. Man, I'm going down this rabbit hole, and hey, he's blown away right now. He is blown away. And I'm actually surprised at how fast he's picked up on a lot of this stuff and he's seeing it. And I could tell you, it's not like this dude, it's not like Justin's ever had like some kind of ill will towards these people. Just like I tell people, I've never had any ill will towards these people. I'm just looking at where the information takes me, and the information takes me, unfortunately, in this direction. I mean, what do you want me to say? I mean, if I found out that it was actually Russians who were behind all this stuff, then I would say the truth. If I found out it was all Saudis behind it, that's what I would say. To me, it's just about the truth is the truth. So
I'm down. Yeah, just let me know when I need to pop in, guy. My guy.
I'll set up. Oh, and I need to get in touch with we need to get in touch with Warren and Laney to try to, because I still want to do that one podcast. I still got it on my mind, and I don't know if I need to take.
I'm down with that one too. Yeah.
If I need to take a day off so that it's earlier in the day for me and corresponds with you guys during the week, then I'll do that. But yeah, I'm trying to figure this out.
That's what's up. Well, thank you everybody for popping in tonight.
Yes, thank you, everybody. Yes, I'm glad you were able to pop in, Michael. And let me know if you have some free time, if you want to swing through and hop on the panel with me and Teal. It's always cool to have you and Abby on. That's cool. And then I think Abby had wanted to coordinate some stuff with Teal anyway. So yeah, reach out to us and I don't know, we can work on some collabos. And again, much love to everybody else out there. Y'all could be anywhere else, but y'all here with us, and we appreciate it and love y'all.
We do. Peace out, y'all. Love y'all.
All right, peace out.
There is discrimination in this world, and slavery and slaughter and starvation. Governments repress their people. Millions are trapped in poverty, while the nation grows rich, and wealth is lavished on armaments everywhere. These are differing evils, but they are the common works of man. They reflect the imperfection of human justice, the inadequacy of human compassion, our lack of sensibility towards the suffering of our fellows. But we can perhaps remember, even if only for a time, those who live with us are our brothers, that they share with us the same short moment of life, that they seek as we do, nothing but the chance to live out their lives in purpose and happiness, winning what satisfaction and fulfillment they can.